Smoke's finally back online now to just cut off sections onto the site. Snake bites and mollies just in case they want to press the advantage and push also back at the side. But it's just being held for control here. Karmine Corp happy to play this retake.
A lot of focus being put on that angle where Magnum managed to pick up 2 on the pistol. A weak spot, perhaps.
We'll see now. There's Wingman. That's going to be spotting out a player or two. Berlin. Let's get the initial kill, but not enough to get the follow-up here. But down below the bridge, where's the expectation of it? Narrate, he was dropping down, but not enough bullets in the clip to really finish him off. 3v3 shots, life regaining the advantage potentially there. It's traded back and forth. It's Narrate versus Ayang. Narrate comes up with the goods. Rifle in his hands to get the job done.
And plenty of time left on the clock too. That one had danger in it. It absolutely did. But Karmine Corp still managed to forge their way up to 4. FPX deciding not to invest Ayang's ultimate into that round, where perhaps, you know, it could have made the difference. It did end up being fairly close. Frankly, if Autumn even gets that kill, the round is looking really dodgy. I gotta say, while Karmine Corp are up 4-0 here, this is not the same level of clinical play that we saw from them in EMEA when they were making that run. There's a lot of conversation about, because we've seen so many unexpected teams make it to Masters Madrid, with so many rookie players as well ascending to this premier level of the game, are people going to adapt to the stage quickly? If you have some nerves, how do you play through it? It feels like it's a little touch and go at the moment for Karmine Corp, but enough to be able to get them over the line in these rounds. And similar nerves on the other side for FPX. You've got to remember, FPX are a team, this is their 3rd time getting to a global event. They've only ever been able to take 1 map at a global event before, and that was against the old Karmine Corp when they played first time at Lock-In. It was a 2-1 victory in favor of Karmine Corp, and that was the old, you know, Melons lineup. That wasn't the Madrid clean, clinical Karmine Corp that we've come to expect after their running kickoff.
It's well-honed squad, and you know, to just touch on that rookie point as well, you know, maybe that inexperience rearing its head for some of the players. Karmine Corp looking like one of the youngest rosters I think that we've got coming into Madrid.
They are, yeah.
Maybe that does showcase. Of course, some of them do have that international experience.
They do, and you know, you see Magnum up there towards the top, managed to find that hole in the pistol round, and has been very consistent so far on the defense side for his team. So we get to see another rifle round here, starting to get up towards some big ultimates too. Narrate and Magnum's ults in particular going to be excellent on the retake, as Narrate takes first contact, wants to hunt for more.
He's not scared, is he?
No, Shin was holding up towards the belt, so he had angles covered. Martin's crosshair placement looked like it might have been off for just a moment as Ayang's head poking below, but I don't believe they caught any whiff of the jet stuck in that corner. I say stuck, hiding.
Hiding, he's got the
starting
dash,
a trap
to get out. Yeah, it's a lovely position to play in. FPX quite like what they were seeing just from cutting the noise there. They show a bit of that presence just initially, now making their way over towards B. Contact reclear, is that what's going to be called here?
Certainly looks like it, the same kind of B end with that double omen smoke setup that we've seen from FPX in a few rounds so far.
All the util combined together, unfortunate for Life Day, will fall just through the smoke as it was propped up, bloomed and blossomed, but FPX keen to still play this one. Maybe a bit more aggressively as well. Look at the position of some of these players. Berlin taking a peek out towards Kitchen, expected though. Now you see it, Thrash exchanged. Dropping down onto either side, detainment potentially there. Looks like it, yeah, Berlin. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and now positioning, being swarmed and approached from every possible angle. I saw, realizing now that really has to give it up. Wasn't that mid position, he was the insurance policy, but now has to save that rifle.
As Karmine Corp get up to 5,
మైక్ దగ్గరగా పెట్టుకోవడం
absolutely putting
జరిగిందండి.
away
ఇప్పుడు
FPX.
మనం చూస్తున్నాం కేసీ
This is
కొత్త
looking
పగల
like they've
దగ్గర
got a very good idea of how they want to deal with this classic exec that we're seeing from FPX. Nobody is
అతను ఏంటి అతను సెంటినల్ అనుకుంటున్నాడా డ్యూలిస్ట్ అనుకుంటున్నాడా కేజే వాళ్ళు కొడుతున్నాడు ఎన్ని మనిషి
spamming a common angle where he's expecting them to be pushing up, defending that over push into Snowman and making sure that they have the pieces together to be able to get back in onto site.
అంటే మనం అప్పట్లో
FPX are
FPX
finding
కి
it difficult
రక్తాలు
here to
చిమ్మించి
force the
సపోర్ట్
fight. One of the
చేసాం
big powers of their
FPX
composition is the
కాకపోతే
ability to
కార్మైన్
combo
కార్పు
flashes
ఈసారి
together.
బాగా
They're not
స్ట్రాంగ్
really
ఉంది
finding an opportunity to do that because
వాళ్ళు
Karmine Corp are
కొట్టారు
playing so
కూడా
much further back.
మొన్న గ్రూప్స్ లో
Initial expenditure of util, but they are playing really far back. I mean, that's just the retake protocols. Desk was mentioning it. It's super well drilled for Carmen Court.
Yeah.
The bread and butter really of, you know, what was getting them so many of the wins because they were looking so well honed.
And there's always a little bit of danger when you allow your opponents to plant against you so often that you wouldn't be able to pull it off. You know, most teams, even the great ones, are only converting something like, you know, a third of their retakes. But these teams at this event are looking to try to change that. So this makes it feel like it's something similar over towards B, but it's not a full commitment.
No, in fact, they haven't used both the smokes. I mean, Berlin hasn't locked off the angle, so they're getting information the entire time. Magnum has just been egoing the angle on B.
And Martin, ready, waiting, not spotted in this position before.
Be able to receive this. Now, Dizzy wasn't collected over towards B to clear it, so they don't even have that util to clear this angle. Top though, yeah, crosshair placement. You got to take a gamble if you play in that spot. It could come from two different directions, so gambling incorrectly there. Life is the one to capitalize.
Magnum though, still with ultimate. How does FPX deal with that?
They're down with a wingman, clears out a bit of the site. Now the plan online, but here's the lockdown.
Oh, Aeon denied from even going for that.
They can't go for the plan. Time. They have to fight this one. FPX have to make a call to do so, but now detainment. It's going to be happening anytime soon. This is a round basically done and dusted. Online there with a res. Magnum back into the fight, 3 versus 3, but with time like this, I mean, there's just no chance. You have to kill everybody. It's not there for FPX.
And a complete tactical outplay there by KC. They're thinking ahead to
Martin Fortnite champion.
Available. It's very clear that that lockdown is going to get used, and FPX didn't come up with a game plan quickly enough to try to challenge it before it went down, didn't have a game plan to try to increase the tempo, and I think we're just expecting to get the plan for free. They're thinking, all right, KC, they've been playing retake this entire time. They're just going to use lockdown, we're going to be able to play the plant. And Aeon could not get that spike down.
Let's go, boys, yo!
The overall game plan of Carmen Court, just fundamentally, is fantastic as well. Been playing super far back on B, almost conditioning that they've got nobody playing towards B main or towards yellow whatsoever, and then they're playing these one-and-done angles towards A. I mean, yes, Martin ended up falling, but they've just been doing such a fantastic job. And like you said, you know, too delayed in terms of just thinking about the game plans. Carmen Court one step ahead.
This is also the second timeout for FPX, called already. So if we, you know, framing this in the context of FPX trying to get this revenge matchup against a Carmen Court that's retooled so heavily, looking for a potential good beginning to Madrid. This is a disaster. They had their chances early on in some of these rounds, but the later that this is going, the less and less chance it looks like they're getting as Carmen Court polish things up a little and get comfortable, get into the groove. Down 0-6 without any timeouts remaining. If they don't end up winning this rifle round that we're about to watch,
it's a
disaster zone.
That could be dire.
I mean, they are quite literally running their heads into a brick blue wall right now. They cannot find a way through.
Now, are they going to get conditioned? You can see elements of it from Carmen Court again. Like I was saying before, they weren't playing anybody up close towards B. They've got Martin with an op now. He's playing in this spot. Carmen Court, I think, are hoping now that FPX make the decision to start contacting into B. Dizzy broken. Martin can now play onto the angle. It's Wasp at the shot. Missed and go to wide.
But they haven't heard the dash. They know that Martin has not left that in a hurry. There they hear the shot from the operator, and Martin's going to bait that out, make it feel like he's still there, and try to rotate, to anticipate this attack side rotate that Berlin is calling.
Yeah, and he is. He's already called it for the rotation. The troops on the move. And guess what, Martin? Again, one step ahead. Like you said, still has the dash in his back pocket. Didn't end up using it to escape.
A lot of flashes that he has to dodge here, though. Leah, Dizzy, both broken. Narrate with a pit.
I mean, Narrate just back towards rafters there. Dizzy returning as well, getting the acknowledgement that there's players there. Now there's 45 seconds left. Could pivot into a different direction if you want to, but FPX looking a bit indecisive. Just a pause in the play. Now the paranoia. Sent flying here, but again, no connections. Martin towards the back. Trying to go wide here with a Dizzy. Narrate is on one, man. He's on one. Almost there for the ace, but 4 kills eventually shut down in the end, but 7-0. The scoreline we're looking like. The round differential is immense right now, and you're truly seeing it. I mean, we said on paper it was going to look like one of our more one-sided matchups. In almost just every element of the game right now, they're ahead of it.
And they're destroying them. Kukuga Sugar said on the desk, trying to break the Lear and the Dizzy in one go. Narrate's like, yeah, bet. Just rinses them both before FPX can use them to get into the site, and then swings around for 4 kills afterwards. FPX are getting pasted. And I think it's a really interesting idea, right? This is one of our most one-sided matchups you could possibly see at the tournament on paper. But what does the parity look like? Everybody was saying, you know, anyone can win Madrid. There are chances for even these teams to be able to make upsets.
Even Magnum himself, you know, coming into this, they're not going to make a mistake with prior teams, you know, maybe they turn up to these international tournaments, they expect to have a freebie, an opening match that just is so one-sided, but of course still showing him respect.
Absolutely. Yeah, Magnum said, quote, if I had to rate FPX in terms of macro, I think they have a lot of gaps. And then he said, but it's Valorant. Anyone can lose. Martin, under pressure, though.
Yep, Dizzy in his face, though. It does fade away. He's just absolutely caught a timing still. Autumn will shut down a counterpart. Damage done, but no kill collected. Smokes at some point surely going to be fading. How are they going to get this spike down? They really don't have any options or tools, but there we go.
That's a huge one.
Yep, a gap available with that op drop down. Autumn picks it up. Acquiring that upgrade. Now we can really just see if he can hunt for any more sort of kills. Now this is a player advantage for FPX. Question is now, how do Carmen Court approach it? Dizzy, round to the back along with the molly.
Whoa.
Players all over the place. Thrash to lead the charge. Entertainment there. Shin round to the side, but doesn't expect Berlin. And there it is. Okay, around.
Let's go.
For FPX. Thrifty win.
And that one basically set up by Autumn getting into a nice spot. Martin has been caught out in a number of these more aggressive positions. And this is the opening. He had a chance trying to take the timing, but then Autumn also finding this pick onto Tamashi over in Snowman. That sets up the player advantage, and FPX are finally able to capitalize and bring around to themselves. Can they work this into a little bit of momentum and make it less of a one-sided matchup?
They would love to. Now, back into the action, you're seeing it. Line in the sand drawn in terms of the skirmish.
Berlin has the operator.
The operator, yeah. I mean, he's TP close.
Yeah, of course your IGL Omen has the op. Angel emote.
Now an attempt
to try and get themselves into the side wall. Definitely impeding them. Dash to the top here.
Nice loud game.
In their faces, everybody. Able to see really anything at all, but
loud
playing inside the pit. This is really going to test Comical once more, especially with Autumn ripping off heads. Towards the back of the site, just really impossible to clear this through. And here it is, momentum on the side of FPX. This is basically a done deal into the round. Look at it, second one on the board.
Oh,
now
shit.
Maybe you can start to keep this going.
That's huge. Didn't even have to use all of the ultimates at their disposal. Still have the Thrash available for them in the next. And FPX using the pit to be able to establish much more aggressive post-plant positions. Put pressure on KC before they can get into retake spots. Look, Narrate's just flooding out heaven there thinking, yeah, they're going to give us this space for free. That's what they've done every other time. And FPX have brought the battle to them. Amazingly enough, those 2 rounds have actually been enough to knock down the economy of Carmanco. So we're not seeing a full buy here.
The money would be flourishing, but instead, okay. At least Martin has a rifle.
Here.
Really quite aggressive into mid.
Very aggressive. But Martin hasn't been able to do too much from these extremely aggressive positions. He's the danger in the round. The rest of KC mostly playing for a little bit of plant pressure and then the retake. Martin's been the dice that they roll to see whether he can find value. And this time, just missing the timing of FPX, who've all gone into B.
Lear and Dizzy all comboed up. Smokes to get himself into the deeper angle. Autumn, he's here this time. Not using that second smoke to block off this one. Autumn, he's got the operator. Aiming to lock this one down. 2 potential positions. Shin, he's taking out Berlin. Now Berlin's been playing in that angle all the time, honestly. Most of the time.
Yeah, and it's a spot where Autumn can't actually hold for Berlin to get into position. It's a bit of a freebie there, actually. Carmencore giving it. That's decent damage there, actually.
Diligence being shown with the util to clear through most of this.
KC have a wall to work with, but there's a Thrash on the other side. Martin, what a peek.
What a return, Ayang, though, straight there. And here it is with a spray down of life. War can't save you from that one.
Great awareness from Life. Adapting to what Karmikor have been doing, making sure that he's in a position where he's still going to be able to get picks over the top of the wall. FPX holding on in these post-ban situations. I mean, Ayang is like lining up a shot with Martin, and Tomaji's right behind. FPX going from 0-7 to winning 3 rounds in a row with the potential to make this quite a competitive half.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it. You would not think it if you were only tuning in for the beginning, but they have the chance. Slow orb. Used here, Shin feeling the danger now. The heat turned up. That isn't okay. Slow orb. Don't think it was intended for that one. Molly's being used. Snakebite here close, and there it is. Actually, that bouncing into that wrong angle. Martin can't evacuate. Can he stand his ground? Can he hold it down? The answer is no.
And that's probably going to incentivize Narrate to try to make a play here instead of just playing for the player down retake. We get to see now. Do they trust the system? Do they try to go for the hero play?
Man down here, Snakebite forwards, Life. Tucking behind the box, out into the open though. Has to just spank on the rest of his teammates. Lovely move from Ayang, Magnum. Nasty stuff, oh my! Almost making a go of it.
So close. And Berlin, the player with the up in hand, goes for the rifle to win the 1v1 at the end and keep this momentum going for FPX. KC making a good job of it despite the fact that they were down players. But this opening play as Shin swings to try to relieve pressure from Martin. Martin can't quite get enough kills to help. Final round of the half here, and KC are going to be knocked down to 4 Bulldogs. There is a great chance that FPX get up to 5 and rewrite this terrible beginning they had to Icebox.
That's just insanity.
The pick got popped down over towards B. No immediate pressure. So Tomaji might think that the rest of FPX are looking to work down mid or over towards A. Martin once again alone on A, tucking himself into these aggressive, unexpected positions. But generally, FPX have been able to either dodge or deal with it. It's slow and somewhat ponderous, though, for FPX in the first 40 seconds of this round. Now they're making a commitment to deal with some of Magnum's utility in mid and create threats and pressure around. A leg.
Oh, it's betrayal. And there it is, sets up Autumn for an easy one.
No possibility of that being rezzed.
It's now being offloaded. Dash towards of Autumn. Top of the box, just spotting head of Shin, unable to rip that one off, but Berlin's caught into the mid flank.
And now the ult online. Magnum has that retake ultimate that caused so much pressure for FPX previously.
Could be opting to use this as a really forward backside position. FPX are trying to fight this one. Then they realize at least now that the lockdown is down, but do they have any util to try and fight this one and clear it out and through? They don't need util, man. They got guns and weaponry still. Locked down. Didn't get broken. 1v2. Plays out a dodge here from FPX, so the positioning is going to be known and noted. Narrate, how do you hit that into the 1v1? Wingman, exactly the partner in crime that you'd want, at least taps out of position, trying to force Life out into the open, but it's a guessing game for Narrate entirely, doesn't know where he is, and Life playing time immaculately. It's 7-5, and how the bloody hell did FPX salvage that?
What a ridiculous comeback. We were all ready to talk about how it was playing out as expected on paper, and then FPX fire back with 5 in a row.
1 enemy remaining.
And a lot to do with the rifling coming online. I feel like Ayang has just woken up.
Go on, look at me, bro. Let's go.
They're fired up. They're feeling it. Life on his feet.
Certainly are. Let's send it down to the analyst desk to break it down for the half.
Thank you very much, guys. What a great half that was. A nice comeback from FPX, but Kakuka, it all started with a great chain of rounds coming from KC.
Yeah, exactly. And it was a perfect example of what we were discussing, right? Those retakes coming in, the protocols being completely sharp up, coming in from KC. I think that round 5 is a perfect example of it, when we would see the exchange of the ultimates from Gecko, and they know exactly where to put the pressure and how to address everything that is going on in the map by the positions that they expect the other players to be in. The follow-up from each of the players, it's clean, but But then after those 7 rounds, something changes in FPX maybe.
And for FPX, I think the adaptation was really good. In these post plants, once they got that spike down, once they got that space, they were using that second dizzy refresh to fight forward and get space in these late rounds and really punish KC while they were still setting up, getting their util in hand. That's the X factor of this team. They will sometimes pull out these hyper-aggressive rounds where they stop you from setting up the way you want to play. He was really good on that comeback.
I think it was a little bit of both, right? We have a KC that maybe is getting too comfortable because everything is working, and an FPX that, you know, starts making a little bit of mistakes. We see, you know, the flashes being a little bit separated one from another, but then when they realize that they just have to disrupt that and just keep pushing a little bit more, that changes. Now, coming into their defense, as I said, it's very complicated to defend this map without a sentinel. The aggression has to be there. FPX is very known for that, and they have
అది
to
కూడా
keep it
చెప్పాడు
out.
సెంటినల్ లేకుండా కష్టం రా రే వోల్ఫ్ ఆఫ్ ఎలో అని వాడు కొన్నిసార్లు సొంత డెసిషన్లు తీసుకుంటా ఉంటాడు వరస్ట్ ఫెలో.
But every single KC fan feels like 10 of them.
Yeah, shout out to the Gentlemates fan as well in the Gentlemates jersey. But this blue wall, it is looking so strong. But I'm going to send this out to the casters and see if KC can close this one out.
We'll see if they can close it out. But listen, FPX, kind of momentum behind them as well. All it takes is a pistol round. You've got an even match, at least an even map. And this is a team, and I mean, a reminder, I think this is an FPX squad that's got a bit of a chip on their shoulders from the previous international appearances. They want to turn up to this event, and they want to really prove as well that teams should be paying attention to them. They want to teach teams how it's done. They've literally said that themselves. For Carmen Core, left reeling a little bit, I think, as well, off that string of rounds, but we'll see. It's a new half now.
ఓకే ఇది ప్రమోషన్ కాదండి. శ్రీ లక్ష్మీ శ్రీనివాస్ భవన్ లో రవదోస్ ఆర్డర్ చేశాను, మిగిలిపోయింది. మీరు కూడా ట్రై చేయండి, వాళ్ళు నాకు రూపాయి కూడా ఇవ్వలేదు. జెన్యూన్ రివ్యూ అంటారు.
They've actually abandoned it very early though, Brent.
I mean, it is surely you collect it.
What the fuck?
Gets 3.
That's wild.
Get the hell out of here. Dealing with the util single-handedly. I mean, a man was basically alone. And now, how do you clear this one out? He saw to the side, lovely peek, off with the dizzy. That is a slam dunk finish.
I don't want to hear any more about the blue wall. Tell me about the Berlin wall. That's ridiculous. I mean, how has he managed to pick up 3 there? That protocol of jumping through the one-way, I think is a really nice idea. First player jumps through, drags the crosshair is the game plan. Perhaps doesn't quite drag it far enough in that situation because they're swinging almost exactly into Berlin's crosshair. It just worked so well. Bottom of the scoreboard and comes out like that on the pistol. That's what you're saying, Brent. It only takes that 1 round.
They are being swamped in this position. Lysol doesn't know which way to look. Teammate happens in the back. Okay, traded. 3 versus 3, equalized here. Dash forward to the peak, Ayang.
They want to get aggressive and defend these weapons.
రవదోస్ అంటే ఏ టు బి బ్రో.
No, not quite.
ఒకసారి ట్రై చేయి ప్యూర్ రవదోస్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్. రవదోస్ అంతా పార్షియల్ గా పనికిరాదు మామ. మనం రేపు ఎప్పుడన్నా శ్రీరామ్ భయ్య వాళ్ళ ఇంటికి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు, సారీ అదంటే అది ప్లంక్ రోడ్ కదా, మనం ఎప్పుడన్నా టౌన్ లోకి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ట్రై చేద్దాం.
And there it is, spam damage on the flank attempt there.
Very surprised that Carmen Core played that round.
Let's go boys, let's go!
They got themselves into a 3v3. If they'd slowed things down, I believe there were 2 bulldogs lying around for them to be able to try and pick up and use. But they got roped into the pace of that. And then all of the danger just kind of trickled away. See how Young deals with that boost play. It's quite a nice idea from Carmen Core, but something we've seen a lot from these Sage teams. And you wouldn't have believed it if you only watched the first 7 rounds, but 7 in a row straight back for FPX means the game is tied here on Icebox.
FPX కి ట్రైనింగ్ ఇచ్చినట్టే మీకు కూడా కావాలి అనుకుంటే మీరు లైక్ కొట్టండి, సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయండి, ఖచ్చితంగా నోటిఫికేషన్స్ టర్న్ ఆన్ చేసుకోండి. మిమ్మల్ని రేడియన్స్ చేసే బాధ్యత నాది. అంత కష్టం కాదమ్మా. హాఫ్ టైమ్ లో మనం 2 సజెషన్లు ఇచ్చాం, వరుస 7 రౌండ్లు కొట్టారు చూసారా. అంటే ఈ రౌండ్ దేవుడికి వదిలేమని చెప్పాను, వేరే విషయం. దిష్టి పెడుతున్నారు కదా. బిగ్ ఫ్యాన్ తేజ.
All down 1 looks almost impossible.
So it's just going to be looking to do that.
Surely,
damage.
Surely here the streaks are broken. We don't see another 7 in a row for KC, right? It's not even
Silent
possible.
competitive player at
Not, I mean, at that point.
You in the map 14-7?
Yeah, dusted. Maybe we get them to skirt the rules. We'll do first to 16.
FPX, though, really have shown that they're not willing to just roll over in these kind of games, especially when they're pushed. I mean, they certainly come into this one as the underdogs, but I had a chance to talk to Berlin before these games kicked off, and I asked him, how much better do you think this version of FPX is compared to last year's? If you were following this team in 2023, okay, they looked all right. They were making it to some of the international events. Since then, they've added Life, who's up towards the top of the scoreboard for them here. He's been a big player for them. And Berlin said 2.5 times better.
We can see your guidance.
I don't know where he quite got that from, but he's a lot more confident this year than he was in the last.
Bro,
they were only able to get 1 map at 2 global appearances.
They've run the numbers. 2.5 times, maybe enough to try and take it against them. That's a cheeky play.
Cool idea.
All to boost themselves up. Berlin, no. Deals with the trespasser in through mid. Well, there is the follow-up. Ayang watching it for any sort of passerbys. Only 3 players now left standing for Carmine Court.
Looks like a read to me that they were expecting Berlin to be playing B. Both of those controller players for FPX fighting over B. They baited out Lysor there, who swung off the back of a paranoia that was extremely optimistic.
So damn aggressive, though.
Willing to take the risks, aren't they? I mean, Ayang has just walked up all the way behind, and all of this in a player advantage situation where you don't need to force fights like this. It's a round winning or losing play, probably, that Ayang and Life have gone for.
Morning Astra to match adana efforts match meant for
here.
Astra, yeah, నిన్న నేను
I don't believe they know it yet.
Astra తాడే కొంచెం కష్టమే. గేమ్ మధ్యలో గాల్లోకి పోవడం అంటే సాహసం అనే చెప్పాలి. చాంప్ గింపు ఎందుకులే మాస్టర్.
Not to the side, not expecting a player out towards Yelas Berlin. Still not cleaned up. Spike though, planted. 2 players though for them. Flash over the top, Martin. How's he doing this? No way to Carmine Core find that.
That's outrageous.
తేజ కోసం నేను డైమండ్ లాగిపోయాను కానీ పాటికి రేడియంట్కి ఎప్పుడో వెళ్ళిపోయి ఉంటా.
No exits. Utility being used from the back as well, and Martin ducks, bobs, weaves, and picks up 3.
You are joking.
How have they done that? I mean, the first pick, lovely. But then this kill before...
In that 4v2 only? What?
Nice! Stand up now! All right, a bit of fire with these Carmine Core players in their first time on the Big Masters stage.
Getting heated. Stacked though from the FPX players here. Ball is made to refight. What a
That's the problem. Fix చేశారు bro ఆ రోజే.
Showcased here by Martin. His
Leaned
teammate's
by
going to be
the
there with him.
forward
Got his back live. What?
You see, KC have no idea that that was going to happen.
Even a possibility. Yeah, just no idea at all.
They didn't even think of that as a timing that FPX could have chosen for some aggression. You can see how the unexpected nature of how FPX players can catch teams off guard.
ఒక దోస్తునే లోపల ఎంత విధ్వంసం చేసి పడుతుంది
Martin in the last round and this has managed to bail his team out.
Berlin, knives out. No gun. Watching for the mid-aggression.
And Ayang, they should have some idea, was over towards A earlier on. That Dizzy was used. His shooting's been fairly good. The most likely outcome here is that he just goes down and gets the thrash online for the next. This game has been so streaky. There's only 30 seconds left.
30 seconds left.
I don't see how he's able to convert. And KC are going to be able to respond with 3 in a row after FPX got 7 to tie it up. Now, would you refer to this one as a back and forth game, Bren? because technically, it's gone back, and then it went forth, and now it's going back again.
Yeah. By the technical definition.
Yeah, but it really has not been competitive in the round-to-round basis.
No.
Very streaky.
Very streaky.
వరుసగా వాళ్ళు 7 గెలిచారు. తర్వాత మనోళ్ళు వరుసగా 7 గెలిచారు. అంటే ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళు 7 గెలుస్తారంటారా?
But we'll see.
Yeah,
He
there's
gets
an
the
early
pick.
pick. Wow.
మన తేజ మార్నింగ్ సోలో కాంపిటేటివ్ వాచ్ చేస్తున్నాడు. ఇదేంది భయ్యా ఇదే?
The way in through B main. Yang is open to the window here.
చల్లగా రేడియంట్ కి దింగేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నాడు.
Time it could be brutal. Spots the head. Magnum is racing ahead, man. Doesn't want anything to do with this. Look at him. Ducking straight into the floor, maybe anticipating a repeat, but no, he's backing it away. In the meantime,
yeah, speaking about repeats, Berlin in a player advantage situation again, FPX deciding to try to make the play to win the round. Unnecessary, for sure, and Berlin does get punished for it.
Resin Life of Shin is going to play for this one. Portion of the wall broken, but that's all good.
Yeah, thankfully, Autumn wasn't watching that again.
There's only 45 seconds left. Walking their way over towards A. Going to move on though. What util do they have to try and
push
చేస్తున్నారు? I think quite scared of the prospect that life could be just in a one and done. Especially when he's playing Reina. Does he see the head just onto belt there? Looks unlikely. Orb in his face.
30 seconds left.
Players approaching rapidly on the position. It's a double face as the
Pitch
orb goes
position.
down.
Only 20 seconds left here. No real utility as far as I can see for FPX to deny this one. Magnum is really far behind and has missed the timing.
Yeah, he has, but he's going to be making a call at least for his team here. Over to Bison time. Really wide face by Narrate. Claiming it. He's feeling it, man. It's falling around for him. And this time, Kamikoda not messing around.
This is another situation where KC lost players early on in the round.
Okay, 4 చాలు.
To be on that sight line, it is entirely possible for the Viper to throw that mid line up without exposing any part of their body. But Autumn caught Tomaji at the beginning of the round, and Berlin ended up making a mistake when they were up, and it just opened the door for Narrate to take over. Narrate for Kamikor, one of the North American imports over to EMEA, has been lighting the world up.
Radiant time, but stuck on silver level because of knife inspection.
Against the master stage, are the nerves going to be there? And Berlin goes walkabouts again in this round.
They just expect it. It's happened so many times now.
ఎందుకు push చేస్తుర్రా?
They were doubled up. I mean, basically a high-low setup. One player crouched in front of the other.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the aggression.
Yeah, and it's very, very similar to what Berlin did in the previous round to lose them that player advantage situation. FPX have got to be careful. They've clearly got what it takes to be able to bring the game to Carmine Corp. But this is giving me flashbacks of the finals they played in VCT, where they arguably should have beaten EDG, and they let so many of those advantages slip through their fingers. Here comes AI with play again.
He's got a flash out in his hand, still gets one kill. Maybe setting up Autumn for a bit of success, but no, everybody cleaned up. Carmine Corp not even kicking with 3 of their players. Just got to try and hunt out where is life. Heels up now, not letting anything slip. Thrash there. Detained. Humiliation time on the grand stage as Kamikor up to 12.
For our first knife kill of Masters Madrid. Do they really count when you've got the Thrash Attain on them? I think it is the disrespect.
Yeah, I think they shouldn't personally. Don't think we should be recording those in the stats, but...
Yeah, this is very well dealt with by KC. You can still see some moments where they're not quite anticipating what FPX are going to go for, but for the majority... For the majority, they have got this on lock. The anticipation of Berlin's push at the beginning of that round and the way they executed was immaculate. They're looking for that punish again onto Tomaji. It's not there.
Not gonna get it.
Yeah, this time playing a little safer, doubling up with Magnum as well. KC 1 round away, 5 chances of converting. Keep it clean.
It's gonna be their aim. Tucked to the corner, that's life, avoiding the initial flash across from the ropes. Not accurate enough to win that fight out, but dismiss in towards the back now. Underneath rafters, plenty more players ready to try and fight him. Target-rich environment. Take your pick, take your time, son, because this is lighting the world on fire. Live with the ace. Holy!
And he's on his feet after that one too. If the KC players are trying to keep him rooted in that seat, they've well and truly failed in round.
Teja mod commentary ekkada sir? Teja nee mod lo commentary anta. Miss avutundanta. Repu morning or evening veldam A to B kavalante రేపు మార్నింగ్ నేను హాస్పిటల్కి వెళ్ళాలి కాబట్టి ఈవినింగ్ వెళ్దాం భయ్యా, ఈవినింగ్ వెళ్దాం. రవ్వ దోశ తినేసి మనం హలీం కూడా మింగి తినేసి వద్దాం. అన్నా ఒక్క రౌండ్ ఏదో వేసి కొట్టామని దూరం పోయి ఆడకూడదు అన్న.
Slow and steady. It's their approach to begin. You know how aggressively. Both the duelist players. Dash still available. Dismiss there if Life gets a kill. Lots of exit strategies, but here we look at this. I mean, four. It's still Life claims it.
He's on fire.
Hey, ఎవడరా రీనా కోపం తెప్పించింది?
Still manages to catch the headshot. Magnum's one away from having a massive ultimate, and they're sneaking around underneath them. Life goes for the re-clear.
It's a dizzy, still, it's traded. Magnum is there. On for the two there. Yang drops down, Dash is there. Martinez finds it. Forwards now. After the lockdown, it's 2v2. This could be it to seal the map. What is going to be the answer from FPX? Holding out. Walking out, hoping that they can punish, but no. Just granted the kill. And Berlin, the IGL, to 1v2. All on the line to keep his team in the map. Paranoia available. Smokes still there. Wants to walk though. Double dominating the position. If he chooses to just peek ever so slightly into it, there was going to be a shorty ready and waiting. More smoke used. Tap. Force them out into the open. No easy fights, no easy exits. That is Carmen Core sealing it up. Nice and
GG boys.
Number 1, 13-8.
Well played.
A bizarre opening to Masters Madrid, but it had some great moments. FPX 7 out of 8 of their rounds taken in a streak.
Yeah, absolutely. Was going to set it to a short break on the other side.
Moderator
of this, the continuation of the series. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, next round కొట్టేద్దాం. మనకి 3 minutes టైం ఉందమ్మా. ఈ లోపల మీరు పాటలేనండి, నేను కోసం Alim ki companies and bro taking medication. ఏంది బ్రో అంత మాట అన్నావు? హలీం నేను ఆల్రెడీ 3 ప్లేసెస్లో తినేసా. ఓకే, మీకు రేడియంట్ ఎయిమ్ ఎలా ఉంటుందో ఇప్పుడు నేను చూపించబోతున్నాను. మనం బాబా బుయ్య ఒకట్రా ఒక స్పైక్ రష్ ఆడదాం. ఓకే, వద్దులే, స్విఫ్ట్ ప్లే ఆడేద్దాం. అసెండెంటా, ఫ్లాట్, గోల్డ్, సిల్వర్, గోల్డ్. లాస్ట్ యాక్ట్ మనం ఇమోర్టల్ ఉండే యాక్ట్ డైమండ్ పడిపోయినాం, చూపిను, అది వేరే విషయం. ఇంకో సైలెంట్ వ్యూవర్ ఎవరు? అది నేనే. అది నేనే.
Match found.
Hello. నేను లైవ్లో ఉన్నానండి, చెప్పండి. యూట్యూబ్ లైవ్లో ఉన్నాను. ఏం చెప్పు మ్యాటర్. ఓకే ఓకే, నేను చేస్తాను ఇప్పుడే గేమ్ అయిపోగానే. ఓకే ఓకే అండి, అలాగే బాయ్. ఎలానా? ओ ये है।
क्या हो रहा है भाई, क्या हो रहा है? क्या हो रहा है भाई, ये क्या चल रहा है?
Their team has a healer too, but you won't be enough.
ఏంది బ్రో? ఎన్ని రోజులు అవి? అన్ని మందులు ఉన్నాయి.
बॉस अभी तो गेम स्टार्ट हुआ है भाई.
1 వీకేనా మనం పెచ్చగా తినొచ్చాలి ఇంకా. ఓకే, షరీఫ్తో కొట్టడం ఎలా? ఫస్ట్ ఇక్కడ రీకాన్ కొట్టాలి, ఇక్కడ పీక్ ఇవ్వాలి. వీడు ఇప్పుడు వస్తాడు. రారా రారా. ఓకే, మనం వెనక్కి వెళ్ళిపోవాలన్నమాట ఇప్పుడు.
आइसो भाई बहुत गंदा खेलता है.
వన్ టాప్. What the? ఇలా చావకూడదు అని మీకు చూపించాను. అలా వెళ్తే మనం చచ్చిపోతాం, అలా వెళ్ళకూడదు. ఇప్పుడు చెప్తా ఎలా వెళ్ళాలో.
Only one way to get better is to uninstall the game.
ఆడేస్ పాపం మన జట్టు కావాలంగాడు తలకాయ మీద. వాడంతే ఇంక అదే లాస్ట్. వాడికి ఇంకా కిల్ రాదు చూడు, ఎగరేసి కొడతావాడిని.
Revealing area. There they are.
Spike down B.
నేనేం చేయలేకపోతున్నాను రా.
Right here.
सोहा भाई थोड़ा बाहर निकल के हेल्प हो जाए.
Spike planted.
Stopping fire.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Easy for Soha भाई. Easy भाई. घूम के लेना है.
What?
End to end.
Now I know how annoying my team can be.
వాడు
What a good sense.
హెడ్ షాట్ పడింది, అది వ్యాన్లో అంటే చచ్చిపోయిండేవాడు.
Yeah, yours. मेरी जान के क्या करेगा, मैं तो वो अपनी बता.
Eyes up.
తర్వాత మధ్యలో ఇలా మ్యూజిక్ వేయాలన్నమాట, మైండ్ రీఫ్రెష్ అవుద్ది.
Revealing area.
Spike down A. Spike planted.
Come on, Savaka.
Last player standing.
I should play like they're dead, not me.
Last round before the switch.
Reloading. Not keep our goods active. Bend forward. Help a girl out, would ya? No. Cheers, mate.
ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ టిప్ అబౌట్ సర్వర్ రికన్. ఇలాంటివి మన దగ్గర బొచ్చడన్నా దాపెట్టాం అంతే.
Reina se push. I saw Reina se push.
అది అటుంటది
Bolt is ready. Can
అటుంటది మనతోని.
You will not kill my
Shot done.
enemy spotted. Mid.
What?
Mid. One enemy remaining.
My ultimate is ready. Your duty is not over. This feels different.
Wow.
Take flight.
Switching sides.
Reloading.
A second win. Let
Ah,
your
makan din
senses
gutame.
come alive.
ఓకే ఇప్పుడు రౌండ్ గెలిచాం కాబట్టి మ్యూజిక్ వేయాలి మళ్ళీ. ఇంకో ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ టిప్ చెప్తాను, బాగా ధ్యాన్సే వినండి. పైకి రీకాన్ కొట్టామనుకోండి, సౌండ్ అలా ఇంటూ పైకి చూస్తారు. అప్పుడు మనం పీక్ తీసుకొని వాళ్ళతో కూడా నేర్చుకోండి.
Scanning ahead.
ఊరవతల దింగేసింది.
Reloading.
Oh my god, I see you are so hot.
G'day.
Right here.
No.
Right here.
One enemy remaining. Spike down mid.
Yes. Yes.
డబల్ ట్యాప్ ఉంది కదరా, ఎదుగుతుంది.
Last player standing.
दोनों का ऐसा भाई, देखो कौन इसका.
एस और गे.
नीचे.
और गे.
अरे
30 seconds left.
అయిపోయింది.
empty eyes.
All right, my ult is ready.
I saw the goat भाई, I saw goat.
Enemies close. Eyes up.
चलो I saw, अब अपनी सेंसी बताओ.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Wonderful.
No, you didn't tell me. Wow.
ఇది మొన్న 100 Thieves కి ట్రైనింగ్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు గిఫ్ట్ ఇచ్చారనమాట క్లాసిక్.
Revealing area.
రికార్డ్ మ్యూజిక్ టిక్ అప్కమింగ్ వాలరెంట్ ఛాంపియన్ మ్యూజిక్ లో ఉంటుంది.
Reloading. Here.
अरे यार, मैं क्यों मर.
Enemy spotted.
No more.
Last player standing. Spike down
Revealing
A.
area.
Easy for Sova, easy. Clutch, easy.
Shock dart.
One enemy remaining.
3 gone.
Thirty seconds left. Match point.
These parasites aren't going to help a girl out, would ya? Reloading. Help a girl out, would you? Excuse me. I need a gun. Help a girl out, would ya? Reloading.
Scanning ahead. Take flight. My ult out of charges. Scanning ahead. Jerry is dead.
Spike down B.
I have the spike.
Someone's in defender spawn.
30 seconds left. Last player standing. One enemy. Spike down B.
బాక్స్ వెనక సైలెంట్ గా డక్ అవును బ్రో. ఓ గేమ్ స్టార్ట్ అయిపోయింది. ఓ షిట్.
I need a gun.
Help a girl out, would you?
Need a drop. Thanks. Need a drop.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks. Good.
Nice.
Revealing area.
ఇలా వేయకూడదు రీకాన్.
Good on ya. Seek them out. Sleep tight.
No.
Healing you. Plant the spike.
Heaven. Over.
One enemy remaining.
Retreat.
Shock dart. Shock dart. Revealing area.
Time to drop this.
Check me.
Reload.
Nice. Well.
I'm a mountain.
Sudden death.
We get a pick, we move in. Can someone get this?
I need a gun.
Oh, Vandal here.
Need a drop. Thanks.
Yes. Yes. Help a girl out, would ya?
ISO is goat of goat.
Cheers, mate. Help a girl out, would you?
స్కై కమెంట్
MVP
ఇచ్చాడు.
भाई ISO MVP है.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Yes.
They'll break with the right pressure.
Scanning ahead.
Show me a target. Destabilize.
Hey!
Spike down mid.
Fucking sight. Party's over. Fucking sight. I got the spike.
Last player standing. Spike down mid.
సెక్సీ బ్లైండ్ కొట్టాడు కదా వాడు. వాళ్ళుందరూ అక్కడ ఎరగడ్డ.
Seconds left.
మళ్ళీ కనెక్ట్ అవుతావా? ఓకే మా. ఓకే మనం బ్యాక్ టు
షార్ట్.
Backing away here, Narrate realizing he has to respect this one.
327k. Wow.
The rest of his team now.
ఎంత నాకు మన దగ్గర?
Actually denied there. That's a perfect placement of the nade, yeah. And a kill.
I mean, if anyone was going to go down, I
Oh,
thought it would
FPX
be
leading
Ultimate
low on the
30 health, but Lysol just tanks it.
పిస్టల్ రౌండ్లు గెలిచిపోయారు.
Narrate, despite the fact
ఓకే
that he's
మనం
spamming down,
నోరుతో
trying to get a
అన్నాము
second.
దిగింది వ్యాపారం.
Finally, the apple taking out all of it, leaves it to Berlin. He's just got so much to work it against him.
Ooh.
Berlin, hello. Here's your time to shine, but Tomasi shuts that one down right quick. So bonus round conversion not there, but he made it a hell of an expensive round. I mean, listen, only one player surviving.
Yeah.
KC.
Absolutely. I mean, when Lysol goes down to the nade, it looks like KC are going to have their pick of that one. It's going to be an easy battle, but Berlin once again in a pretty similar manner to what he did in round 13 on
30
Icebox.
seconds left.
Being able to get way more value from a position than you would expect from him. Makes it very damaging to KC's economy.
నేడు అక్కడ వేయాలన్నమాట.
So now, Carmen Core coming into the next round have a Bulldog and a Judge to work with. Martin is playing Judge Raze here at the front of B to start this round. FPX haven't been wandering close to B, but I wonder if they're going to try to set up some kind of trap here on Mound.
A chance of it.
Open the door, blast pack out, do something crazy with the Judge perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, Shin's position is really quite far forward there.
The problem is, the more space that you give them over towards A here, Brent, the more that you're going to allow A-Young to get set up with the Thrash, push Magnum into uncomfortable positions, and get plants down on A. So this is, despite the fact there's a Killjoy and an Odin playing on the A site, this does look a little weak.
Here it is now, Thrash clearing out towards tree. Magnum smart enough to give up the space. Be free gained now. Plant down for Berlin. Unconventional plant spot. Post plant doesn't allow you to play from stairs to really try and spam that one down. It's actually tucked to the corner. Heavy reliance on tree. See if that bites them here. Here's the initiation, the moves in with the Judge, eventually shutting down that threat. Martin can't get anything done, but Carmen Core still there with the rifles. Off to the side, Autumn inside the smoke. Narrate. Last player left standing.
ఎందుకు?
Maybe even second guessing himself, wondering if he gets another one, could be played, but no. Now making the smarter decision here, so saving a rifle, running away with it. So FPX up to a third round.
Yeah, getting themselves into a really nice position. The thing that catches Carmen Core off guard there when they go for the retake are the unconventional swing timings from FPX. As soon as they hear the Paranoia double blast pack come out, FPX don't respect it, they swing into it. And that catches KC as they go to try to push off the back of the utility, taking gunfights at unfavorable timings. And you'll see here Berlin just manages to catch this one. And you also have Autumn coming out through the smoke. Perfect timing to try to catch Martin in the back.
Enemy remaining.
The damage that they did on the bonus, capitalizing there. And leading to a really nice beginning to this map from FPX.
That's fantastic. keep this one going as well. Listen, generate the ultimates, keep using them to just snowball your way forwards. I think the more rounds as well that FPX get and start accruing is that question you brought up earlier, you know. Carmine Corp, they've been playing against the meta comps. How do you deal with something that's a little bit less standard, especially against a team that plays a little bit less standard too? You know, FPX, we've been seeing them play. I mean, they don't shy away from a lot of individualistic plays.
No, not at all.
Shin tucked to the corner. Will he be taken out? Yeah, and dealt with. Winning the showstopper there against the weaker buy.
Yeah, so expensive, but starting to build up to, you know, a Viper's Pit for the next as well. So the ult cycle is still not in a terrible situation, even though they felt it necessary to invest that. They're in a great spot to be able to close this one out too. The weaponry is not great on anyone other than Nare.
Oh, all the players down for the double face. Autumn, 3 in a row, might be looking for another one. There it is, with the 4th, so...
With the classic of all things too.
Steadily building his way back up to his own ult that he just expended. 4-1 here, FPX might be starting to run away with it. Important round coming up now. Take a look at the economy. Carmine Corp will be able to get some of those rifles online, but they don't have any big ultimates of their own, really. Yeah, I mean, okay, Martini's 1 away. Maybe if he gets a kill, get the showstopper too, but it's imperative, really, that they put a stop to FPX here.
Especially if Lysor starts getting into position to pit on the site. Because we saw that on Icebox, that the pits and the more aggressive post-line positions really messed with KC in the way that they wanted to approach things.
Early fight, here my life. Doesn't expect that Shin has already crossed one way, might just see the feet.
Not quite catching it.
Fine.
Oh, has he got a glimmer of it there, perhaps? I don't think so. The boombot used from Autumn close to B main as Life forced to teleport away. Autumn has not quite cleared Thomas yet.
Yeah, it was broken. It gave the indicator. It gave the indicator for Autumn.
Great movement to be able to escape.
Really heads up as well. Knowing that the boombot was cleared, he's expecting it. He's like, okay, potential there, behind the box tucked. First kill for them, so 50 seconds now. Making the moves over towards the A site. Magnum is here, ready and waiting with the setup. That's the Nanostorm still. Paranoia goes wide. He's holding an off angle. This is really quite aggressive. And Autumn just offsets the movement ever so slightly enough. Flank around Shin. They weren't expecting that one with the TP, but he's only one man. What can he do? Paranoia glides, TP in face.
No way.
No way. No way. Shin. That's monstrous. And Life, he's nowhere near. Sticking this one through. Where's the defuse bar? Not a clue. Still half on it. Live. Puts him to bed, puts him to rest.
What a kill to end that! And what a play from Carmine Corp. An attempt to try to set that up. And timeout called. That was an enormous investment. I mean, the play that they went for there, Nightfall into the Omen ult. They had no idea that Shin was all the way back there. They had no audio cues. Paranoia, so they have no audio cue on this either. Shin was set up for success. And Life shut it down.
I said at the beginning of the round, that was a pivotal one. Economy going to be reset here for Carmine Corp. Instant timeout called.
Yeah, this is now serious danger. KC unveiling one of their big ideas for how to go for a retake there, or at least to put pressure onto FPX as they were going for the plant. Using a really nice ult combo, still gets stuffed. And Autumn is currently sat 12-3, up at the top of the scoreboard for FPX. Finding so many good timings. His awareness in that round to be able to pick off Tomaji early on. In the previous round, to be able to catch Martin as he went for the double blast pack retake on A. Autumn has been playing wonderfully here.
Pride of OCE. Stepping up here onto the big stage.
And so many conversations about, you know, what do the communications look like within FPX, because Autumn isn't super comfortable with only speaking Chinese inside the team, so they're having to do a lot in English too. Is it worth it? Well, if he plays like this, it is.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And Life, who was at the top of the scoreboard on Reyna, is still 6-1, barely been punished. Only that one time where he overstayed his welcome slightly on A.
control given up. FPX happy to do so. Autumn also one away from his ult.
Yeah, and look at how that round is about to spiral the ult economy out of control for FPX. This ult cycle is getting monstrous.
Magnum is tucked here, has the stinger. Too much util, still finds the kill. Just taking the timing as well, knowing they were going to explode into the side, and he backs away, so... Toss away his life for no reason. Plant.
This is going to be difficult, though, for Karmine Corp, because they're going to come back into this against potentially big ultimates, if Autumn or Lysor are able to get a pick. There are huge ults on the other side. It might have been a good idea to try to stack one of them, the plant.
Yeah, potentially, because Martin's now going to be coming back in. Nade, rebounding, snake bite, ults, offloaded. Thomasy, what a shot, what a shot indeed! The players are toppling here, the rifles matter not. Karmine Corp on display, showing exactly what makes them that #1 seed from EMEA.
And just a bit too passive from FPX.
Thrifty.
Resting on their laurels, not remembering the game plan that they had coming in. And that's our second MasterCard Thrifty of the series, I believe. But from what we'd seen earlier on, when Karmine Corp were fighting aggressive post plants deep into spawn to this, like almost the most passive way that you could play this situation, not loading the plant into Lysor or Autumn, where you would have a big ultimate to be able to work with. Bit of a misplay, but like I said, the ult cycle is demonic right now for FPX.
Online.
They have literally everything, yeah.
It's a rubble fight, not being contested early by FPX, they want nothing to do with it. KC not even really using too much util of their own. Stalemate just to start things off. Life with the tour de force. Hoping that he can contact in as a slight gap into the smoke. He was praying that Magnum potentially cross into the sideline.
And Magnum is just holding angles where he would be able to catch people, you know, blast packing in with an ultimate. He's looking to try to catch Autumn in a very non-committed place, Magnum, but one where he can just catch headshot sightlines.
ISM flying out towards B. Narrate's going to be calming this. Util.
Not a full commitment though at all, is it?
No.
It's just supposed to feel fakey.
All over the place here, but really there's not too much behind it. Still, okay, Prowler, peek, Martin, what? A shot, the quick scope of life, shuts that one down, now the showstopper. Or lay it out on top of it, Magnum, he's out of there, vacates it, wants nothing to do with it. Side control gonna be gained for them. It's being lost all over the place here with Thomasy losing that one. Paranoia swing through, a little bit delayed here, but FPX are the ones that are coming out on top. Kill feed, filling up with red, and that's all they're seeing right now, hunting for the kills. Magnum, lovely shot with the discipline. Shin, he's setting the aim just enough, 1v2. Does he still choose to make a go of this?
He's worried about those aggressive timings that FPX like to take. Fear in his heart, causing this to be a retake, a save, meaning that KC are in a hole right now, in a whole lot of trouble. FPX still with some big ultimates that they didn't feel incentivized to use there. We were watching that fight happening over towards the defender's side spawn. Actually, the big deaths happened in Waterfall.
Yeah.
Those are kills that I think either happened over the top of or through a smoke, and obviously that first pick is massive. But yeah, just as that smoke was about to bloom, it's a one-way actually from Berlin. That's so nice.
Interesting ideas.
Lovely idea. And not something that KC was set up to deal with. It is an attack-sided map from everything that we've seen, but FPX here are looking so much more successful than they did on Icebox.
Cover going out.
Ways exchanged, Berlin. Looks like he could be playing into a deeper angle, potentially even inside the one-way, but...
FPX previously, when they had Ayoung's ult online, did end A. They expected it to only be one player there. It was Magnum with an Odin, and now Ayoung looking to make his way towards A again, but Berlin with the spike on B. So So there's a serious potential that this becomes an A fake with the Gecko ult into a B pivot. That's going to be challenging for KC to deal with.
I think it depends on the success of these A players. Berlin does have the ult tucked away to reposition to A if they are going to find a kill, but no. All broken wide. Paranoia was sent flying a bit prior here, and they've put players into 4 positions with Lysor. Be attempting the backstab.
Weird though, because that means no pit available on site.
Lockdown. Close forwards here with a Thrash. They want to seek to try and fight this one. Really far back positions. Can they deal with it? Magnum nails it with a detainment. That's 2 players there. They can't actually enter the fight, but really, they've done the damage here with the bodies. Nothing to break this lockdown whatsoever. Life was being pressured onto that position. Once more detainments across the board. Narrate sticking forwards here. Sees half on the board. Magnum really just seeking to delay. He's got his teammates back. Ayang forcing out the wingman. Horn drops down, rebounds, half on it, really needs to swing wide. Magnum needs to shut it down, not even necessary. It's Carmen Core with the win in that round. Themselves that 3rd one.
Really important round for KC to be able to get on the board. But I like the ideas actually from both teams. Sure, we didn't see the pit on the site, but we did see them save that Thrash for a post-plant situation to try to challenge the lockdown. Unfortunately, the fights just simply didn't go their way. Magnum being able to pick up both of them in that situation is just enormous. If he hadn't picked up both, there's a great chance that FPX are able to push forwards, get the kills, break the lockdown, and it's a round done and dusted.
A lot of aggression out towards A Rubble now. Well, okay. Deep Horn just tagging up there onto Lysor. Couldn't stand his ground there, and even Life traded. Taking out Paranoia to set that one up, jumping up into their face. Shots going wide. It's the weaker weapon, so it should just be an easy job finishing them up.
1 enemy remaining.
Strenuous. There's a rifle gain here for Berlin.
He doesn't have the spike.
No, he was hoping to just TP himself out of there and doesn't win the fight out. So, real rapid one. Round 10.
But now FPX rifles back on board. And this is where the ult cycle has declined a little bit here for the attack side team. But they haven't really been able to find use out of this pit. It's been the one big ultimate, actually, that they haven't used at any point. They're going to take a timeout here, discuss what the round game plan should be. I feel like the game plans have been good from FPX.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, apart from that one round, was it round 7, I believe, where they just played a little too passively. For the rest of it, they've been up, aggressive in Carmen Core's faces, forcing the duels, utilizing nice pieces of utility like the one-way on C, the Thrash to push the lockdown over towards B as well.
They're really proactive calls being made by an FPX team that, honestly, I thought were going to be riddled with these communication issues, you know, having to really translate twice, you know, Berlin having to talk and describe these game plans throughout. It led to the macro game of FPX looking a bit weak. I mean, Magnum pointed it out. We've said it many times now over the course of the series. But that hasn't really been the case. I mean, they have been rapid in terms of the way they've been pressing the issue, forcing KC to react to them. And it's been by hair's breadth, really, in terms of KC being able to win some of these rounds out. Maybe they can even it out. Maybe they can make it 6-6 here. Timeout is being taken by FPX because they're feeling that struggle now to hold on and maintain this lead that they've gained.
KC have also, I think, found it a little difficult to tell exactly where FPX have been moving around the map. Because they're playing quite far back. I mean, they push forward in like B main at the beginning of the rounds, that kind of thing. But generally speaking, Carmen Core are taking a more passive approach to the defense, relying on those good retakes. And that's giving FPX a lot to work with. Here we see KC start the round with 3, ready to play around A Rubble. A very classic setup here on the defense.
Just a one-way used. Berlin hoping they hear the sound cue of that one. Viper's Pit dropped down in through C.
And Narrate actually saved all of his Fade utility. Didn't throw any for the Rubble fight at the beginning of the round. They're not worried about that area of the map. KC have maintained control of it at the start. And now you can see both teams saving a lot of their utility. They're expecting KC to play passive, and they're also not really fighting Rubble, so both teams coming into the mid-round here with tons to work with.
Just conserving everything. A lot of contact plays online. Re-clearance of Rubble is called. Snakebite and a nade combo is excellent, but no players ready to receive. Still, it gives them the space. Haunt Really actually catching on to a few of these players. They're lucky to be alive, backing away. Meanwhile, out through B, that's a trade from Ayang, and even more so.
Oh, that's wild.
He's ripped away Narae's head.
And he's just swinging through an Nanoswarm there as well. He's opened the round up so wide for FPX. Looking to try to get another, and he does. Ayang's been such a beast in this series so far.
Hit dropped down. Berlin's watching for it. He can hear it, the rumbling of the footsteps. That is 7-2-4. You're exactly right, Josh. I mean, Ayang be the difference maker.
Like I said, Narae didn't use a Prowler, a Seize, a Haunt, whatever, at the start of the round. But he did Prowler B main, and he found out that there was a lurker there. But he thought it was only one. Magnum is about to pull out his turret after killing Life there, because they are so convinced there would only be one B lurker. They're getting caught off guard by the unconventional way that FPX are playing, and it creates moments like that, where KC have an assumption that is wrong, and it bites them in the ass.
The money is just absolute bargain bin purchases for Karman Court. Working with scraps to the final round of the first half. It's led to them to make the decision, really, to just give up C. I mean, they went aggressive towards B main early, hoping that they could maybe get a favored fight, taking it with the numbers that they've got, but for now, space given and granted for FPX out towards C mound.
And Ayang picks up his ultimate. So FPX really happy to work the map. And this is looking like another one where they fake it. Bit of a feint over towards C. Now opening the door, putting pressure on Magnum here.
Pulls out our trap play setup, this wall tucked behind it. Magnum, maybe he could do something about it. Nightfall here, forward sound cues missing, taken away. Plan still online for it. No, he's just spotted. Everybody watching towards the wall, but that is a nasty shot by Tomazi. And through main, able to block that angle up. Actually, might just be through the smoke here. Oh, sound cues. Life is really just going to rely on his aim. Smoke finally blooms and blossoms to cut off these available players, but guess what? That flank of Lysor is coming in right from the side. Tomazi sticking, half already, has to get off of it, has to get the kills, but not expecting it. The full wrap around and an 8-4 finish for this opening half.
Very nice ending there from FPX. Good way of adding extra layers into that. And a very competent attack side on a map where KC have been very dominant in EMEA. It's an attack-sided map in general, so don't count out the European squad from being able to make a comeback happen. But the pressure is now firmly on them.
I'll send it down to the analyst desk to break it down.
Thank you very much, guys. It is a great half and a nice start from FPX here. But let's take a look at a Verizon high-speed moment of the match, because this one goes to Shin. And what a play this was, Mimi.
Yeah, it was impressive, right? But this round started off so good for FPX. They got a huge advantage. And then Shin, I mean, just incredible instincts to get behind instantly on this TP and almost win it. But he did lose the round in the end. And that's the story of this half. It is FPX up 8-4. And for me, this was a very different FPX from map 1. It wasn't defined by Life going crazy, by these super aggressive pushes in the late round. It was instead them playing really good fundamentals. Starting off the 1-3-1, pressuring the extremities, and then late round making really good reads and actually out-calling Magnum to get ahead.
Yeah, I think they out-mental the plan that K-Corp originally had for this map. If we look at the hyper wall that they were using from the attack, it differs completely from what we see in EMEA. We were talking about the Odin, Tomazi going crazy on that. It doesn't hold a lot of value if that position is not going to be held by them.
But this does get risky in the second half. This map, as the casters were highlighting, it's a lot harder to defend on, even with FPX having this lead. And I think on this defensive side as well, this is where we really get to see what this team is made of. They have to be on top of these rotations, because Karman Court is a team who's really good at selling these little fakes, at playing into the right site in the mid-round, and then having super strong post plants.
Yeah, it is a healthy lead, but a pistol could change everything as we head back into the second half. With your casters, it's Brandon Saito.
So for Karman Court, I mean, backs against the wall with this one. Could keep it going with the pistol.
Look at this pistol round buy. It's really interesting, actually. We've got 3 players
my
with
dream map pool. It's a good question,
Shin on
but
the tag side Omen has bought 1 smoke and a
I have
teleport.
to think about it.
So he's clearly planning to get value out of that as part of their pistol strategy. But if they're going to end B here, that means that they're only going to have 1 smoke. They're going to fight Heaven aggressive with the Viper Wall.
Oh, again, trying to disrupt this one. FPX cracked open the wall out towards C, trying to double face this one, but they've gotten deep into Heaven. Karmine Core. There's the second protocol, just leaping, boundless man, jumping straight into the face of Ayang. They can't withstand that kind of pressure. Into
What was that?
Paranoia. Sent flying, corners cleared, making sure they're there with the diligence. Nade rebounding, but Magnum holding down the ground, forwards. It's the approach, but again, there's just nothing to deal with this guy. He's just rattling off shots. Left, right, and center, straight from main. Finally smoked off, Berlin diffusing. Half, sticking, hello, gets off of it, but now damage is done. Snakebite tap, they've got to realize this now, surely, with the time cues, but they all collapse in time.
Yeah, a little bit.
I was about to say.
Just a round win.
I thought there was a little bit of danger there. Turns out, Tomaji, he had his orb and a snakebite on the plan. So not too much danger. Berlin was maxed out at only being able to get half on the spike. This is the play, though, that really wins them the round. They're not just fighting Heaven aggressively with the Viper Wall.
So satisfying.
They're to swing through their
So
own
satisfying.
Viper Wall to be able to hard clear out anybody.
That's nice. Magnum is looking nice with the Sheriff.
Great pistol round strategy. Well cooked up by KC. Gives them a chance.
What did he say? Just win?
A lot of util going to be expended here by KC. Some control towards a rubble, but a stack of 4 players are going to be meeting them pound for pound. Yes, they don't have the weapons, but they do have the util. And look at that.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice combos. That's nice combos. That's very nice combos. How did it kill them all?
Any direction, but
They're
all reloading. They're all reloading.
Through it.
Yeah, after that initial wave of utility.
That was beautiful, though. That was like best case scenario.
They just couldn't quite hold on. As soon as the KC players could see, they shot back.
NC. I like that.
Make the play there, shut down.
They're gonna go B.
All down to Berlin. We've seen some outrageous situations from Berlin so far in this series.
Martine, reverse pie.
He's managed to pick up a bulldog. But I think this would just be a little too much. He's gonna need a freebie.
Karmine Core haven't really been offering too many of them.
So, like, does anyone do anything special on Pi Day, like in school? Like, do they do anything special?
Making sure to clear everything.
Not really. I don't think so.
Starts the approach now. 1 smoke, 2 smokes. Freshly rejuvenated.
He's found
people eating pie?
Magnum, but he's set up a crossfire. This triple setup is so strong.
You just don't win it. There's too much to account for. Too much to account for. So, 3 players surviving here for Karmine Core. 3 rifles.
My school has a competition for who can name the most pie numbers. That's kind of cool.
No, you can't do it. Can't do it.
Math quiz and get pie.
So yeah, this is going to be a fairly potent bonus round, but not the most that we've seen. There was a little bit of damage there.
That's kind of cool.
Also, something to keep in mind: Autumn was 12-3 to.
That is some nerd activity, but it's cool.
So you look at where he is on the scoreboard right now. He hasn't been doing too much since that absolutely electric beginning. Bit of a struggle. In order for FPX to be able to close this out and take their 2nd map ever at a global event, you're going to need big players like Autumn or Life to really make sure that they can close this one out.
What am I reading?
Berlin trying to make the most of the Odin spam. What util?
Very useful activities, normal NA, Kek W. What the? All right.
Now the 2nd wave is going to be used early on here. I mean, talking a minute 20.
EU trying to ruin the fun. Is this bonus? Yeah.
Now, Karmine Core could look to try and go all the way back over towards A. Berlin. He's going to get pushed out into the open.
What are we doing?
Wait a minute.
It's because it's too tempting, bro. They have pistols. Couldn't resist.
Can't blame it.
Wait a minute.
No. The VOD review is going to be... Oh, no.
FPX now forced to try and do...
Now he has to compensate. You can't even blame that guy.
Out wide into the open.
Yeah, no one can be blamed.
The only nice part is that if he dies, like, you have the reason to peek.
Wait, did you say you can't blame him?
A in the 3v5? 3v5?
The other guy.
Oh, not him. No, I thought you were talking about Berlin.
Berlin? No, that guy's fucking gone. You won't see him next season.
You will not see him next time.
I'm just wondering what this means for Cloud9. I feel like Zappa could take his spot.
Oh, that's
Cloud9 might pick him up.
The Odin spam perfect. But They might have distracted for Lysor to find a timing.
What is happening with T9? They have an analyst now?
Look at this
That's a
Odin,
bonkers
dude.
play to go for.
This post plant now gets so much more difficult. Lysor.
No, I can't believe it.
Yeah,
These
that's
angles.
just...
How do you
yeah,
find
that's-
the right fights? How do you isolate them? He's not even clearing Shin. Tucked up there, and there was a
Oh,
player
yeah,
ready
okay.
to
That's
swing.
tough.
I mean,
Thomasy,
That's just tough.
dynamic duo.
FPX
Should have been more
cost
Yeah,
dangerous
yeah,
than
yeah,
that.
yeah.
They actually cost.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
good.
dodge,
That's
that's a
good.
dodge.
Make that one look
Critical.
easy.
But you think
by
Berlin
pushing
might
with
just
an
be
Odin
high
into
there?
heaven.
No, he's probably
It's
not
the
sober.
player on the other side. It's Shin's
Not
opposite,
assist him.
Berlin, who just threw the round away so early on. This is an anti-bonus. You have an economy advantage to clear the round out, and he just wanders out through the rotating door. It's the kind of play that you should never be going for.
That's okay.
And I think he just got
Mistake-
completely
Is it though?
what was
happen.
occurring
Is it
there.
though?
Didn't think that KC were committed to
Mistakes
rubble
happen.
whatsoever. And we've seen a few moments from him throughout this series. He's matched the big round-winning plays with those kind of moments where he loses the plot a little bit.
Certainly has. Interesting play by FPX here.
Angel cosplay? I miss Angel, bro. Wait, Navi's
they're
here,
stacked
right?
correctly again.
Is Navi here?
What's their plan
Yeah,
here?
right.
Trying to force Karmakor right into them. They're going to get their wish.
Oh my god, oh my
You can't
god.
see anything yet with the Phantom.
Oh
His
my
hands being
god.
short. Working
All
it.
it took was the Odin. That's all
Wide
it took.
face, driving by. One player left standing. It's Odin.
Yeah, if they lose, Berlin's gone. No joke.
I just feel bad for that guy because he made one mistake in the most
Yeah, I
important
know.
game ever.
One mistake and it's just gonna like define him. It's
Really
so
should
cool.
not be any more danger in this.
I mean,
One mistake game.
Yeah, that's a pretty big. That's a
gone.
pretty big one.
Didn't he have a sick clutch last map too?
KC
Like a 1v3?
disciplined to get them through this one, no problem.
Or 1v2?
The time's an issue.
I mean, he's been doing
Autumn's
okay.
Stuffed into
I
a
mean,
corner.
I feel bad for him
No
now.
idea that there's two players.
He's not playing that bad.
No, He's playing. He's playing okay, dude.
The high-low setup.
Maybe his
Very
keyboard
little chance
disconnected.
and opportunity, and so 8-8.
And not only 8-8, Brent, Karmikor now actually favored in my opinion, because I talked about it on the attack side for FPX, the ult cycle is just monstrous. Look at what they're starting to get up to.
Oh yeah, he had a 3K on
Lockdown
pistol, that's true.
available.
But it jumped out of
Gary's
smoke.
owning again.
The pit and the
I don't think I've seen him
showstopper.
get a kill yet.
This composition has
Yeah,
so
where is
many
he getting
tools to be
those?
able to chain stuff together on the attack side.
One enemy remaining.
And this now might be a little too late for FPX. They had their opportunities early on in this half to make it dangerous.
Like that
for
Thomas
KC.
guy could either be 18 or
Round 15, round
25.
16 getting that stack that you called out too, and yet weren't able to convert
it.
on them. Now they need some hero plays. Because if you just look at things, all things being even, an attack side map where KC is starting to get big ults online, with the quality of this team, FPX should be in the squeeze right now. So they are going to need somebody to step up.
That's why the timeout's called.
He's 19, I think, right? Or he's 18?
Honestly, maybe just reining
Okay.
Berlin in a little bit might help. But it hasn't been costing them too much.
His cameras
Just that
are
one
so
round
high
that
quality,
sticks out
bro.
in my mind, of
Holy
course, when he
shit.
Donated over the Odin.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you have those round losing plays in big situations, they're actually worse than the round
Every
winning
pour,
plays
no
in some
pour
other
left
spots.
behind.
And when we think back to Icebox, one of the worst parts for FPX was that they were only winning 43% of the time when they were up a player, when they were 5v4, when they got the first pick.
I mean, speaks volumes, I think, about Karmikor's ability to turn situations like that, but also for FPX, I mean, that is...
They were tossing some of those
Yeah,
situations.
It's pretty dire, isn't it, not being able to convert?
With things like going for those mid-round reclears and trying to take possession of the round even though you were up players. It's a very risk-positive play style that FPX have, but they can bite them. This is where you gotta try to take the risks though, I think. You can't just sit back and allow KC's ults to come at you.
5-4, whole cacophony of util.
Magnum has KJ ult. This round's done. He has KJ ult for post plant.
Yeah, they lost. They
Shin's
lost.
ult just being
Let's wrap it up.
offloaded here, so...
Off of one mistake? Off of one overpeak?
Off of one Odin
I mean, I
play.
didn't bring that up, but Berlin did fuck
Shin
up.
might have been able to get
Wait,
huge
what?
value out of an ultimate there.
You think his teammates are like
They're
going,
not overstepping themselves and
every
overreaching.
round?
FPX are now going to be in a retake with life.
That would be so
No
fun.
ults to work with.
Just every round you just need to.
Wait, that's a
Precise
deep...
time.
Is that where he should be KJ ulting?
Be used here. Ults, util, paranoia.
Where do they usually want to ult
Enough
by
damage
like
to
mount?
clear
Or
this
like
one out,
outside
so
be main?
They used all the util like they were retaking. No, they had nothing.
Wait, yeah, they used
this is-
everything before they
They
even
used
got...
everything. No one went out. And
they're trying to break it though, right? They all missed
Yeah,
up.
they did.
They all missed. That one util hit it.
Dizzy's there, but Wingman follows it up. Stunned up. Well, cosmetic.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was a good retake. That was really good that they used it beforehand.
Last one left.
Oh, they don't know he's in the smoke though.
They know. That was a really good retake. Wow.
Wait, using it
I have no
before
idea
was
what
actually
happened.
kind of sick.
Wait, why?
And what a retake from FPX.
They used all the util before. I had nothing. They just ran out front.
No, it's because they had their guns out. They didn't have to worry about having utils.
Such
Finally.
big pieces of utility too. How?
Yeah, how did they win that?
Berlin's like smiling now. He's like, okay,
Wait, we're not going to talk about the fact that you guys just retook with no util?
nothing.
Just being able to win.
That's literally exactly what we're talking about. That's literally exactly what we're talking
We're
about.
not going to talk about it.
Massive difference makers.
Okay, yo, I really think teams need to start planning in that corner on the
That
left.
was around
The old plant spot.
Were expected to
You mean
win,
like
Or outside
above?
B.
not.
Or
Big
yeah,
ultimates
On
used
the
to.
platform?
It's
The only
broken
problem is you can
away.
get killed easily, right?
What a time.
Well, you do
CT,
the gecko
yes.
thing, right?
Same opening
Oh,
for
you don't have
Court.
to gecko.
Out
No,
towards C
they don't,
now.
but-
I saw. That is.
Like you risk it and you stand back the guy's spot.
Wow,
Or like
okay,
you
just
what?
straight through. That's one way to clear the pit.
Oh no, you see him close your eyes.
Get it?
Okay, not this
Smart team
again.
that shows
Wait, no, he got one.
I think they were scared of flood.
Oh no, not this
And I
again.
say broken the alt cycle, but Martin.
These are all fans, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of fans in the server apparently.
Legit, all
That's why they were
fans.
saying they didn't play here?
They're fighting tooth and nail for this.
I think they just don't
Making
play there
sure
for
that
the
they
spam spawn.
Don't get pushed
That's
into an
it, right?
uncomfortable spot.
Maybe.
Real uncomfortable though. Is the retake.
Not gonna
Red
always.
Bullet's
They
nice.
choose to take this one.
The Red Bullet's so sick, right? You can hide outside.
Out towards Waterfall. Thrash.
I like their ult
Pretty
is
hands
good.
here
They
for
got the whole right side.
Berlin can't work his way through that one way. A lot of util being used.
guy can't
to
even
try and
find
push it back,
himself
but
in
look
the
how
Red Bull.
difficult this is. I mean, you're just clearing one section of
You get
the
him?
ult detained.
Yeah, I got
Got him, yeah.
The one
the guy got out.
That's at
he's
least the
covering
fight.
easily.
It's Magnum.
Yeah, this is
Just
correct.
dominating that one angle. Looks to really
It's
just.
One
so
mistake,
fun
Berlin.
not being a
One
Viper.
mistake, Berlin.
Yeah, one mistake
Yeah.
is actually crazy.
But what a response.
One
from
door, one
Comical.
mistake.
Kept it simple, used the ultimates.
Was it an
got
accident though?
themselves
Like he
around win.
walked in front of the door and then it closed like
Nah,
that?
that's not
The
Was it?
economic.
I
I
have
mean,
to
at
watch
this
it.
point, it was called an
No,
accident.
because he
But
re-cleared A
now
main,
it's
like he was pre-aiming
9-9
A
with
main.
all of the
Called a happy
big
mistake.
ultimates
But then he,
starting
like,
to try-
stopped moving
favor
when the door
FPX.
Yo,
was
why
like-
are we
It's
still
gonna be a
talking
while
about it?
before
Next
Comical
wait,
round.
why?
rely
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah,
We have
makes
a
sense.
shot.
Yeah,
No, he did. No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding. He
bro.
did fuck up. He did fuck up.
Yeah,
It does feel
he
like Lotus is
Like,
very
actually
based
lost
on
his
what
team
ult
the
you
whole
have
match.
online.
But I just feel like we shouldn't be talking about
Game
it.
3 on him.
FPX.
So one of my chat wrote, at chat, why is everyone blaming Berlin? What did he do?
Running into life.
Poor guy.
See, just looking like they want to focus on mound control into the C hit.
Wait, at chat is crazy.
It's actually,
Chat,
like,
do you
annoying
respond
on
to
the
someone that refers to you as at chat?
They have chamber, brother.
Like if they write at chat, do you
The
respond to
lack of
them?
the killjoy on the
Probably,
other
right?
side.
Yeah.
They're not worried about running into life.
No KJ, bro.
Oh yeah,
Stacy every
please,
round.
just please,
Very much so.
plant correct.
Autumn does have his ult. Needs to stay
Like right
alive,
here you're
though.
talking about?
Wants to use it.
Wait,
Yeah,
okay,
first
yo, here's what I was
time.
thinking. Okay, listen, hear me out.
From the rate.
So what you do
The spike.
is
They are
you
trying
take
to
the
force
site
out
and
at least
then you
some util, maybe the
make
ult
it
out of
seem
them.
like you're pushing
Now
CT
sticking and committing
just to get
into
the
it.
bomb down, and then you run away back to off
Use
plant.
util to push back CT while you're planning?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Backing them away with the rifles here. Carmine Core. It is quite
God,
passive position,
I'm
just
the
giving up
goat.
basically the back section of the site.
Does Autumn choose to ult? Down
Crazy
4v5.
Would be a crazy one. That's essentially a
Fucking
solo swing there
Berlin,
from Lysol.
man.
Not really set up for it.
Yeah, this is just not fun to watch
To the
anymore.
flank. Lambot.
It's like we're gonna make mistakes like
Every
that.
team of his
Yeah.
position. There's
Yeah,
not
I
too many
actually
more
feel bad
pieces
for
left for
him, though.
FPX to do anything about it.
And these last two rounds have been just what the doctor ordered for KC.
That was A4
It
half,
was
right?
looking
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
a nice edge that it could spiral out of control.
I mean, the no KJ,
Instead,
they're just
they
like
kept it
fucking
so
bomb
Keep
rushing.
rushing
C.
C,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
One
just
round
so
going
hard
the
to
Can't
way
hold
of
the
FPX.
site.
Yeah.
Wait, so what did Berlin do?
And at this
God.
point,
Wait, you're fucked.
FPX are
Why'd
going
you
to have to
laugh?
try to come up with a different way of holding on to C.
Said what did Berlin do?
You look at how Carmine Core are taking.
Oh, you
ground control
know
at the
what
start
he
of the
did,
round.
brother.
Shin throws a
Berlin's
smoke.
gonna be the
they
new
get teleport
C9
into the
meme.
smoke. They have double faces
What
in
does this
case
mean for
anybody's
Berlin?
Wait, so what is
Future.
C9 doing? They have an analyst. They have like, what? They have an analyst on the team.
It's all very rigorous. Look, there's the smoke that you can see. Martine's inside of it instantly. They can swing out of this in a variety of directions. Avoid any dizzy,
If you're FPX, what do
paranoia
you do?
they
They just
can
keep
hide
going
inside the
C. Well,
smoke.
not anymore, but.
create that little safe beacon, safe
Have a good
haven
setup
for
here.
them to play around.
TP as well into door. Chamber bay for Omen.
Chamber gets one, TP's away, and then
It all depends if Berlin recovered from what happened.
Yeah, I don't know if Berlin's still thinking about it.
I'm actually sure.
Wait, that Molly? That Molly's insane.
Wait, Berlin. You think should leave, Berlin?
Wait, what's he doing? What's he doing?
All of this.
Oh my god. Wait, he's back.
It's him.
One's good. We'll take one.
We'll take
You said
it.
I got mine?
Okay. We'll take one. We'll take one. That Molly was sick though. Does it get back on Rumble too?
But the problem is, the more the time ticks, the more Autumn's ultimate becomes a game changer. You do not want to get in a situation where you're trying to exec with only 25 seconds left.
Fake C, go B. Fake C, go B.
KC hoping that any stack over towards C would have been dismantled at this point because of all of that rumble pressure. Feels like
The C
they're not rotating. They're not rotating.
Yeah, what is going on? Is there comms?
High-low.
These are comms is crazy.
Wait,
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 they
wait,
moved.
Running away, but they hear it jumping around. Autumn, it's popped up the old high-low setup. Not expecting it. The rate's already there. Dizzy.
Yes, that's the
15 seconds left.
It's a 1v1 round, literally.
If anyone can get this kill, it's Narrate.
Nowhere near at all. He's going to try and force his fight
Oh my god, he shit on him. What? He's actually so good, huh?
Monstrous from the Ray. He's 22 and 11 in the match so far, and trying to win this round almost on his own, waiting for the cavalry to arrive.
Pawn spotting it, avoiding it. Bullets hailing down.
My god.
Oh, what a round.
Oh my god.
Nice,
He doesn't stop?
Wait, you guys getting that? Watch out.
The Des was talking about, do you like his Gecko more? Do you like his fade?
I'm not joking.
Out here dumpstering people.
That's his fuck. You should get him on C9 or
like this
something.
flex initiator role.
Berlin to C9.
We'll see him on Duelist, and you can see why when you look at this guy's talent. So many duels here that weren't favored, where it looked like an FPX player had caught him.
Ooh, Marshall. Marshall, can you look at me for a second? Oh my god.
Yeah, Shin's happy about that one.
This time Karmikor setting the sights over towards A.
And the push out C from FPX, they knew they had to change something up. And now Magnum's got the read on it. All right, so they were aggressive on C. Let's try and push it into A fast.
Yeah! What? Oh, no, wait.
Wow.
Oh,
Berlin. Didn't stand a chance.
Anyone
there.
but.
That's his fault though, right, Berlin?
Yeah,
that one was his fault, yeah. The one before, no.
Yeah.
Another duel, though, where Lysor could have found the timing.
Instead,
the Karmikor
The
player
one
comes out
before,
on the
no.
lead just on the A.
Of it there. Looks away two of them, but not enough to withstand the pressure for the players there. Now a deep push from Live. He's the last one left. Hold up, rotations, players. It's a timing game. It's a timing game. Shin's seen the barrel. He's seen the barrel and he takes care of him. 12 rounds. Now game for Karmikor. One step closer to taking the series entirely.
An 8-4 half. And as soon as KC got onto the attack side, navigating danger, putting together some excellent rounds. Chaining ults, punishing the C defense, reacting correctly too. And a reminder, yeah, we thought that this would be one of the least even matchups on paper. FPX came into this one hoping to be able to get at least a map, maybe a match win, show the global stage that they were capable of so much more than they've done in the past. Now they're one round away from getting knocked into the bottom portion of our Swiss stage.
Face your fear!
9-4, suspended once more. Prowler connecting, Magnum holding, watching. What is that by Autumn?
Those are amazing.
Hell of a time to come alive. His team definitely needed it, and the kills are just being collapsed upon. Shin has got his ult, picks up the spike, repositions now, but guess what? Berlin might be one step ahead. He's running his way back over towards A, anticipating this kind of reaction. A plant, though, won't be pushed back. So Shin has a chance to close the case entirely. 1v2, Ayang has the ult, a lot of util. Shin reveals his position, Thrash. No bunny hops online, wide swing and face there. Paranoia repositions out wide to the side. Shot connects, snaps to it. Shin will not find it. FPX alive for now in the map, as Ayang is the one to do it.
What a recovery in that round for FPX to find 4 kills off the back of Guardians. Two players, the two star players, Autumn and Light, just being able to pop. Those initial kills though, Autumn, again, I keep wanting to mention, he was 12-3 at the beginning of this map. He's still only got 17 kills. If he can rank up, FPX can still bring this to overtime. The big, heavy-hitting firepower from FPX has got to come online now when they need it most. Otherwise, KC are going to win this series.
First time we're seeing a bit of aggression on the defensive side here from Life. Horns dealt with, smoke forward, so many positions to look for here, but a Boombot now, look at the levels to it, the layers to it. Boombot proudly have to respect it, rendezvous back now, and here comes the C hit. Pressure there, Martin. Vulnerable up, there was a nanoswarm at his feet, but now there's a snake bite to try and respond, and a flood defense by FPX is caught. Dizzy missing wide, facing Lysor. He's got his two there. The rate is eager to take the challenge straight to them. He's eager to put an end to the entirety of this series, but a spike has been dropped into the middle of nowhere.
That's the big problem now. Extraction is the name of the game. KC, Magnum's trying to cause some chaos, see if he can pull people away from the C site, threaten some kind of wild lurk, but would they really push through Waterfall here to retrieve the spike? Or is it all a fake?
Subterfuge being thrown into the mix. There's a Haunt to clear the way, but Berlin is back up onto the space, into the angle. An essential kill, but it goes missing. And now Waterfall control is theirs. Autumn is there with a crosshair placement. And White now have to deal with these players. Carmine Core! It's all down to 1v1. And this is it. Again, continuation of the series, or will it be that slam at Dunk? Thomasy wraps it around, 20 seconds left, Spike still not retrieved! Thomasy!
GG boys!
He finishes the job on their feet before you know it. In their opening batch of Madrid.
That's a great way to get the nerves settled early and showcase that you can do it on the biggest stage. The Global Masters stage. These players with such small amounts of experience, but such a great system behind them. And passionate fans that are hoping they can go so much further. FPX certainly pushed them, but no map win for the Chinese squad, who still only have one so far in these 3 global showings. They'll have more chances. This Swiss system gives them future opportunities as well, though they have no idea who they'll be facing next. You could say that about both of these teams, though. Because to be honest, when you look at the other matches that you've got coming up, it is difficult to predict who the favorites are. And just to revisit that topic, Bren, we were saying at the start, this should have been on paper one of the most one-sided matches you could get, and yet we had a 13-8 where things looked very close. We had it wrapped up at 7-7, and then a 13-10 on KC's map pick. Parity may well be the key word here at Madrid.
FPX definitely bringing it and testing it, Carmine Core, but they come out strong. It's a 2-0 actually in terms of that map scoreline as well. And like you said, I mean, a series of unknowns leading into it. They don't know who their next opponent is going to be. It's up in the air. They're going to be paying close attention to these upcoming matches, including the one that we got coming up even next. That match is going to be a certified banger, man. I mean, Genji versus Loud, who knows which direction that one's going to go.
It's impossible to call. KC are going to be so happy, though, that they got that win under their belt early. It's going to give them the opportunity to watch these other games that are happening. They're a team that loves to prep, loves to practice. They were talking about the fact that it's been difficult to get that level of prac under their belts here, so that's a great start to the tournament.
Absolutely. Well, that's us finished. We'll send it down to the analyst desk to break it all down so far.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm joined by Mimi once again. What a fantastic win and stuff, but it is for K-Corp, of course. For majority of these players, Mimi, they've never even played on a global stage before, and they just 2-0'd FPX.
Yeah, I mean, even like in EMEA, there's a lot of the big matches they were playing. That finals against Heretics was online because the player wasn't there. For them, this match, I think, meant a ton to really get acquainted to that stage, to a bigger crowd, to a new environment. It's a lot of new stuff for these players, and honestly, I think they came out swinging. People can critique that it wasn't the stomp a lot of people predicted, but I think that was people underrating FPX.
Match found. Death match. Warm up.
Sleep endra. Sleep endra re. After Telugu translation chudra.
Wait until I blind them to strike.
Fight.
I will silence.
అబ్బా సాయంత్రం నుంచి చెప్పుకుంటే ఎవరో ఒకరిని అడుగుంటాం కదా. ఓవర్లే రావట్లేదా? ఓకే 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 హెడ్షాట్ పడిద్ది అయ్యా. ఎవడరా యానిమేషన్ డిజైన్ చేసినాడా? కంటికి అడ్డం పెడతాడే ఇది. చి నేనే బుల్లెట్లోకి పోయాను కదరా బాబు.
Annihilated.
చెత్తనా కొడక.
Remaining.
మనమే లాస్ట్లో ఉన్నాం అయితే.
One kill remaining.
No more meddling.
ఉందయ్యా ఈరోజు ఫుల్ నిద్ర వచ్చిపోతుంది. జగదీష్ భయ్యా రా భయ్యా. అన్నం భయ్యా రా భయ్యా రా భయ్యా 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 రా భయ్యా. మీకేం 11:30 అన్నారు.
Welcome back, everybody, to day one of Masters Madrid. I'm Yingsu, once again joined by Mimi and Kakuka, and it's time to talk about the second matchup of today. It is Loud versus Gen G. Let's start with Loud because, Mimi, we talk about, teams missing out. NRG are not here, DRX are not here, but Loud are always here.
They absolutely are. The color was blue before. We're back to being green because this team always shows up to international events. And what makes it so impressive is that it seems to consistently be a new roster. Loud looked great last season, and they made changes in the offseason. They lost a player who a lot of people considered the best in the world in Ospas, but now they've picked up QCK instead, and Sada, as he seemingly always does, has reinvented this team and made it back to a global.
So it would be normal to think that if you have not been following Americas and you see this change and you see that Aspas is no longer in being such a staple for the team, that probably Loud has suffered. And maybe, not seeing them being seed 1 is all that we can account them for. I understand that we've seen some funky compositions, here and then. They rely a lot on the Viper. We've seen some Phoenix. I think that, coming into the tournament, that might be considered a weakness. But at the end of the day, it's exactly what you said. These guys have a lot of experience, most of them, into those international events, and the effect and all that trajectory has to put into play today.
Yeah, let's talk about those cons because Sadak has clearly been cooking. Do we like it? Is it our flavor or is it an overcook?
I think that it's something that can work, but I don't know for how long is the thing. So they're playing Breach Phoenix on 4 out of the 7 maps that they're playing, which is crazy to say the least. But the idea behind it is you have double flashes. You can go around, on example for Ascent. You can be splitting into a site, use flashes on both sides, overwhelm teams. You have great retakes, you have strong site hits, but what you give up is you have no dive agent. So if you're playing into a heavy Sentinel comp or a team with a lot of stall, you really can get punished for that.
Yeah, exactly. Also the double controller or on Ascend. Maybe we even see the Phoenix there. But I understand why they want to choose the Phoenix. I understand that the ultimate is very powerful. The flashes are very weak, in my opinion, because of how they stand. And I think that it is, from the outside, pretty easy to counter. But once you're in-game, there are so many things that you need to remember once you're going up against this combination, that the conditioning actually favors Loud. And that is one of the reasons why they managed to make it so far with this kind of compositions.
Yeah, we've seen teams counter them out. EG, for example, did very well at that, even though they lost the series, pulling out the Odin, shutting down because there was no dive to get through the stall. It is possible to counter this out, but the thing is, the comp has a lot of little intricacies, a lot of little flash combos, little plays that can still catch you off guard that I think give it more depth than kind of initially looking at it would lend you to believe.
Yeah, of course. This is the 7th consecutive time Loud have made it to a global event. A lot of other IGLs, they didn't make it, but somehow Kukuka, Sadak, many iterations of this roster, he's always here. So talk me through why he's always making it, and can we confidently say that this is the greatest IGL in Valorant?
Nowadays, yes, we can definitely say it. He's been proving it, not only in the server, but actually, you know, getting the team exactly what they need, finding the solutions inside and outside of the server, being that kind of reliable figure that can put you through the tough situations and make you a winner. Because it's very different, you know, to just be able to roll with things, to improve things. But actually, Sadak is the kind of player that makes and creates them winners.
He certainly is. And it's not just the 7th consecutive Loud that has made it here. This guy has brought 5 different... Nope. This extremely loud, incorrect buzzer, wrong. What is right is that this guy has brought 5 different individual distinct rosters to international events. Twice with Vikings, 3 times with different players on Loud. He's the ultimate talent developer.
Yeah, and I also think that we can probably just give him the hat, right? The greatest IGL of this game. I'm quite happy to do that. I'm not sure about you guys. But speaking of Sadak, he's actually standing by right now with Mika Fabs. Check this out.
Hey Sadak, can we pull you in for just a really quick question? I apologize, you have to drag your bag over here as well. So this is the 3rd variation of this team, and you consistently keep making it to global events. I mean, how do you keep doing this?
I think it comes down to us having fun. I have great teammates, so it's kind of easy when you have amazing people around you to do amazing things. So yeah, pretty much it.
Well, excited to see you guys have fun out there. Good luck.
I mean, they must be having fun playing some of these comps as well. But what's in the suitcase? What do you think?
His strats.
Yeah? All of them?
Yeah, it's like the nuclear football he carries around. He has
it's Aspas, just in case.
I don't think they'll need him. I don't think they'll need him. Because with QCK coming in, I feel like he's adopted the way of Loud very nicely. And Mimi, we have a quote from him as well. He was talking a little bit about how he felt about Gen G. He said, I know that Gen G is one that's been showing a good game. They qualified by winning against a very strong team. This is a team that I'm looking at as a threat.
The thing is, the QCK kind of adopted the Loud way, but it's not the Loud with Osboss way. He's not Osboss. He doesn't play the Jet every map. He's not an incredible, perfect dive player in the same way Osboss was. He's instead flexing around, playing the Phoenix. He's fitting into Sadak's system, and for that reason, this does feel like a very different Loud than the one we talked about last year.
Yeah, exactly. I think that this is another reason that makes Loud the team that, you know, a lot of people support and love. It's the fact that if you change these pieces, you can see a new version, but it is still a version that works, and they're not just fixated into, for example, Paper X being crazy, just playing the crazy comps being extra aggressive. No, with Loud you can see very different iterations and they still make it work. So it makes it in time difficult to adapt and play against them.
Yeah, Loud, very familiar team here on the global stage, but today Kukuka, they're going to go up against what I would say epitomizes the surprise element we've seen in the regional leagues. How did Gen G get here?
Well, basically they beat DRX to qualify here, and it's been a very long
who
time.
did they beat in the finals? Just some small team, right?
Yeah, just a small team. You might know it. Something about paper.
Oh,
Paper and dinosaurs. Dinosaur papers.
Paper people rise up. Paper people rise up.
Gen G, I mean, insane that they made it here after what, only being shown at Lock-in last year.
Yeah, exactly. So that is the thing. First of all, we were surprised when you look at the global news and you're like, oh my god, DRX is not making it. And when you dive into how and why Gen G managed to make it here, how the individuals play within this roster. Lakia also back into this international stage that is going to welcome him with open arms. There is many reasons to believe that Gen.G is the threat, and especially after what we heard of Scrimbucks, that they're winning everything out here. It is the team to fear.
Allegedly, the streets have spoken, and Gen.G hasn't lost a scrim since coming to Spain, which
they
is...
said it themselves, right?
Yeah, they said it themselves. Reliable narrator, myself. But it is possible that they have, because they were so good in Pacific. If I were to define the way this team plays, it's just doing the basic stuff incredibly well. They're mostly playing old default comps, the good, honest Valorant stuff, but they execute on it incredibly well. Their synergy is great. They're very good at adapting. And then they also just have players who, 3 of their 5 players seem like they were having life tournaments in kickoff.
Yeah, exactly.
One of those players is the ultimate rookie, I feel like, coming into this. And let's send it back over to Mika Fabs, who's with Karen.
Hey Karen, can we pull you for a quick question? Pacific's Golden Rookie. So this is your first Masters event. This is your first global event. How do you feel going up against the former world champions in Loud?
I wasn't playing when they won champs.
Oh! You gotta love that answer. You gotta love that answer.
I wasn't playing when they won champs. I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
If they win after saying that.
That's crazy. I mean, it is ridiculous how good this guy is. Let me tell you, they would not be here if it were not for Karen. Their qualifying match against DRX, very close game. And then this guy on Lotus won like 4 or 5 clutches in one game, continually stole away rounds from their opponent. It's his first year playing Pro Valorant at this level. It's his first Tier 1 team, and he was out there dunking on the very best of Pacific.
I think that what it's also important to remark is the way that they play. You were mentioning, Mimi, the standard compositions, and actually a very standardized and different way from what it's usually played in Pacific. And when we think about, you know, it's probably the perfection version of DRX that they've been trying to achieve for years, but actually didn't make it. This Gen.G has done it. And the fact that they can win against PaperX, remember, the PaperX that, you know, they might sound crazy, they might run these funky things, but they always make it far and deep into tournaments. Do not forget about that. So if they are able to interpone, to just be better with the play-in standard, it means that they master what they do.
Yeah, my question is, where does Karen compare to the other rookies? Because there's some great recruits. We just saw Narrate, Mimi. Do you think he's going to be up there in that kind of caliber?
I absolutely do think he is. I think that the performance he showed in Pacific looked as good as Narrate. The thing is, how do you rate between those 2 international leagues? Because I think we have seen the level of Pacific to some extent not be up to what it was last year. PaperX not playing to the same level, they've said it themselves. DRX not even making it here, whereas I think we saw a lot of teams leveling up in EMEA. But I don't think that means he's going to come to an international event and not play well. I think he can keep this up. The question is, if it's at the same utterly ludicrous level that it was in their last 2 series in Pacific, I think that's a lot harder to achieve.
But honestly, I don't think that we cannot, you know, expect him to do super well. Also because of the rest of the players that he has on the team. You have the Munchkin, you have Texture.
I mean, Texture finally on a team where he can just play the role he wants to play. He's just on Jet and he's great.
Yeah, exactly. So it is very simple to, even if today he doesn't have the performance of a lifetime, I think that we have to be fair with them and do not expect every rookie's debut on a big stage to be like Narrate's.
I expect every rookie's debut on a big stage to be like Narrate.
Well, me too. I expected him not to lie to me, and he did.
I agree.
So.
I mean, we talk about rookies, right? I mean, at least with the players like Narrate, he played in Americas. You know, we had
Tier 2.
Yeah, but Miniboo again coming through Tier 2. But Karen, officials-wise, only has 17 officials ever. Sadak has 46 global games. Not just
global.
Just globally.
And if you tally up his time in Brazil, his time in America,
yes. So this is insanity, the kind of rookie going up against, you know, the old guy we're talking about. But is this going to be the one that settles this? So if Sadak wins today, are we still believing, you know, the old guard, they're here? Or if Gen.G wins, is it time? Maybe time's moving on?
I think we also need to think about solos. Yeah, I like it. I think that, you know, we were mentioning all the upsets and surprises that we had throughout the year. This could be a major one, probably one that is not in many people's votes for this match. But I think that we also need to think about what I was saying, solo, joining the team, having that experience, and maybe changing things up and giving this team a different identity.
Sure.
We have to be fair and talk about all the coaches that we think make the difference. And I think after seeing them today on stage, maybe we can draw some conclusions about it.
To answer your question though, Sue, I think that I haven't moved on, but I think the world has moved on. Valorant has moved past the old guard, the old teams. That's why so many of them didn't make it here. The teams, though, that are still here with those IGLs who have been here since day one, who have been grinding, that's the proof of the pudding that those are the cream of the crop, which Shadak has already proved in event after event. However, that's not to say that if Gen G plays great today, that's not more faith that there is so much talent out there in younger players. Because I mean, how many times do we have to see that? We've seen it with KC, we've seen it with this team domestically, we've seen it with like half the teams here having rookies debuting.
I mean, the interesting thing is, you know, we talk about how Karen wasn't there when Loud won the championship, but if we want to cast our eyes back to old, not just old guard, but like old guard, Lakia was there. Yeah. Lakia was here from the beginning.
He's like the oldest guard.
Yeah, but are we counting him as like the old guard, or are we counting him as a new blood?
I think that it also says a lot about him that he is able to adapt into, you know, newer times and just playing with the youth, right? So I don't count him as old guard.
I count him as old guard.
He was there before Sadak was there, I feel like.
No, he actually was.
He was there before Mimi was born.
No, honestly, when the last time we saw Lakia at a global event, DRX was still Vision Strikers. That's not even like a troll, like that's just what it was.
Yeah. And they also didn't qualify to a global all the way back then. That was when Lakia was on New Turn. I mean, so much has changed since this guy last showed at a global.
Yeah, and what are we expecting from him then? Are we expecting him to come out and have that experience and have a stable performance perhaps?
Consistency. That's it. Like you say, Lakia is a steady player. He's always good at the initiator. He has good initiator utility. He sets up his teammates well. He also brings the level of experience that I think will help to kind of keep the rookies stable out there.
Totally.
For those of them that this is like their biggest match, their biggest debut.
Yeah, and I think we have to dwell a bit more into that initiation. We know from, you know, what the teams have been playing and how the meta is reshaping, that initiators, just because of there's less and less every time, how important it is, what you do with the information, how you gather the information. And I think that having someone like Lakia with all that experience is probably what this team needed and probably one of the keys to their success.
I do want to talk about Loud again for a second, and I want to just take my moment to go crazy about Les, because for my money, coming into this tournament, he looks like the best player in the world. Like, just straight up. I think
so.
He
Les
looks like
2023?
Yes, they are building their comps on Loud in a way where he gets to play the role he's comfortable with. Every single map, the guy is playing Viper, and he is odds out the best Viper that we have in Valorant. The guy's mechanics and aim are absolutely sublime. You don't need me to tell you that. Watch any game the guy has played before. His timings he chooses on lurks are ridiculous.
Yes.
This team lost Osbos, and that's everyone wants to have Osbos on their team. But what we get instead is people to see how good Les has always been now that he's the real star of the show.
We can draw a comparison between what Les is doing with Viper and at the beginning of the game when everybody was playing Jet. I mean, you at least like one dedicated Jet player. How good and how fast they were escalating and how fierce the competition was to see who's going to be the best Jets. I think that for Viper, Les it's very difficult for him to have a competition because there's no other player that only plays Viper on every single match.
No, I'm not just saying he's the best Viper. The best player.
The best player in the entire world.
Yeah, he was my number one.
Yeah, I had him up there last year.
Did you forget Zekken again?
No, he's
last time.
Last number one.
I mean, I'm actually fine with that, but I do think we should quickly address, because losing Aspaz, as you said, is a big deal. And we talk about how, you know, Lakia is back, what we expect, but surely QCK is under the most pressure ever from the fans, from the expectations, because he's got to replace Aspaz.
See, you think he would be, but I really don't think he is. I think Loud is set up in a way where they're intentionally moving his role to something that makes sense for him. And I think that with the experience of the rest of this Loud team, they are the type of team who will do a good job at shrouding him from that scrutiny, not making him feel like he has to fill in for Osprey. Sure, that might be the case for the community. There's definitely going to be fans who are putting that pressure on him. Don't open Twitter. It's not that hard.
And not only that, again, I think that we need to be fair. The fact that QCK is not having probably the Aspas performance, can we just remember for a second that Aspas is Aspas? Like, no other player is going to be on that position. He's because less is more. But seriously, if after, I think that this tournament could be literally like eye-opening for many people and probably big in his own development, because we cannot expect someone to just arrive in here and be Aspas number 2. You don't need that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why Loud have reset themselves. That's why they're a new Loud. Loud was Loud before Aspas, back when it was a different team, but now they're back to it again. They actually never were Loud without Aspas, but it was Sadak, but it
was loud, and it was kind of loud.
But they were loud, but they weren't loud.
Okay, we have Loud, we have some old guard, we also have the old guard.
But we don't have the guard.
In Latvia, we don't have the guard, but we do have map select. So let's find out where our teams will be headed for this best of 3.
All right, welcome to match 2 map select presented by Omen. We will go ahead and jump in. Genji, you are the higher seed. Would you like team A or team B?
We team B.
Team B. So Loud, you will be team A, and we will start with your first ban.
We ban Lotus.
Lotus, your ban.
No, we ban Sunset.
Sunset. And map number 1 from Loud.
Icebox.
Icebox. Side on Icebox.
We attack.
Attack. And then map number 2 from Genji.
We pick Breeze.
Breeze. Side on Breeze.
Attack.
Attack. Okay, next set of bans starting with Loud. You have Ascent, Bind, and Split.
Split.
Split. Your ban, you have Ascent and Bind.
Ban Bind.
Ban Bind. Okay, so we will play map number 3 as Ascent. Loud. Side on Ascent.
Defense.
All right. Good luck to you both.
Thank you.
This is Genji's Masters debut, but they have to take on the former world champions in Loud. But hey, this is how they got here, by pulling off upsets. But the question is, can they do it again?
It's going to be tough. My question here in this match that we're waiting to be answered is, how good is Genji's prep? Can they figure out a way to crack this Phoenix breach stuff that Loud has been pulling out? They are playing a style that no one else in the world is doing right now, and I think this is really going to be a test for this Genji team on how well they can come up with a game plan.
Yeah, exactly. And talking about the game plan, I think that we need to go back to that map veto, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I was very surprised, and I think Genji was just as surprised when they saw Loud banning something else that wasn't Breeze. And of course, they needed to take a minute to digest what is it going to be the plan. Not only they decide to ban something different, I think that if this was a bait and that Breeze had always been ready, Genji just bit right into it.
I think it is really interesting to see Loud leaving that open, going into that one. A lot of teams,
I wonder
when
what
they feel
Lens is
like
going to be playing.
probably, Viper. Very surprising.
God,
yeah,
thank
you're
you.
really welcome. Yeah, but I think it is really interesting to see them go into this map that can a lot of times be more flippy. It can a lot of times be one that is one more of gunfight, individual performances. But let's rewind and talk about Icebox, our first map in this series. I think the comp head-to-head here is really interesting. Loud play the Harbor Viper that they have played for a long, long time. But Gen G are going into it with a Gecko KO composition, which I think could actually play up against that really nicely. Those flash combos, I think, are better than with that, say, the Reyna Gecko that we saw in that first matchup. It's a comp that you can kind of flood through these walls, fight forward on your defense, and Loud doesn't play against that a whole ton in Americas.
Yeah, we also got to mention that this is the first time we're seeing Loud playing Icebox on the global stage once again since the heartbreak they had to deal with in Brazil. So
the Icebox incident.
Yeah, I need to see them come out of it here more confidence and not to throw away a lead.
I see. That's how I'm gonna call the incident. But I think that this is probably the best testing ground, the best. You know, if you want to turn things around on an international stage, this is the moment to do it. This is the way that you do it. It has to happen on Icebox. And to go back into the compositions, I think that that is going to be a very, very big clash, and it's going to come down to a lot of the preparation. And it's going to be like the match that we previously had into how to read onto the opponent and adapt bit by bit, because of course you're going to have your ideas and they're not going to align with what you see on the server.
Yeah, and for Gen G, you know, they have to come out here and prove that they are the #1 seed from Pacifics. You know, DRX didn't even make it here. So for me, again, I'm looking towards them and seeing maybe a closer and more competitive result.
Yeah, absolutely. And for Loud, I mean, we talked about this is a team that deals with pressure well because of the experience. But I think they definitely will want to prove themselves that losing that final to Sentinels was just an upset, that they still are the kings of the region. They've never had a moment, be it back in Brazil or once it came together into the Americas League, where Loud wasn't the best team coming from their home region. This is a rarity for this squad.
Yeah, exactly. They have a lot to prove, not only today, but throughout the rest of the tournament. They know that the world is watching, but we also know that most of the teams, by getting those reps into kickoff, they actually developed a lot more into how to read their opponents and how to overcome every single problem that they see on the stage. Now, I don't know if Loud has had enough. In my opinion, I think they needed a bit more.
But this is Loud we're talking about. I mean, we've spoken a lot about Sadak and Les, but they still got Tui's there, they still got Kawa there. These players, they don't really crumble under pressure.
I've made the mistake a lot of times of doubting this Loud team. Yeah. Every time you doubt them, seemingly they come out no matter the roster, no matter who's
me. Every time I doubt them, I was like, when did I doubt them?
I think everyone has made the mistake at least once in their life, you know?
No, me.
Oh, not you?
No,
You've never doubted like...
Who can tell you, when they were playing against Fnatic, I literally went and take a shower, and then suddenly Fnatic just won.
Well, let's talk about this agent select here. You guys have mentioned it already, and this is what we're going to see.
Yeah, exactly. But when we were talking about Loud, no, still having the Sova that probably has lost a little bit of his effect. I think that maybe when you combo it with the Harbor, you can have a little bit more of that sectioning and actually getting the exact information that you want. But I am a huge fan of Gecko, and especially with KO here, I think it can have the right edge onto how to Gen G can win this map.
On this attacking side, Gen G is going to be really willing to fight forward, especially on their B hits, flashing through, taking space in Snowman. I'm looking to see how well Loud can contain that aggression and play up against these flash combos, because their strength does come into those light rounds, into the retakes, when you have this super oppressive double controller utility to work back in.
Yeah, and also we don't know what we're gonna get on Breeze either, so I can't wait to jump into this map. We talked about the old guard, the new guard. Let's send it over to some new kids on the vlog, eh? How do you guys feel about Pansy and Hypok?
Oh, it feels good to have you back, Michael. How you doing?
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah, missed it?
Short little stint vacation.
Love that for you. But you have a great matchup to come back to here.
What a delight. To start on Icebox as well. I mean, some really interesting points from the desk. For me, this composition is such a beautiful head-to-head. And it's partly down to what we saw from Texture, obviously, regionally, and how this is kind of just designed to counter 2E's utility and put Texture in that danger zone.
How fun to see him really under the microscope here, but we have to kind of talk bigger picture a little bit. It'd be a miss. A lot of people at home have been rating Gen G.
The stocks are high. Yeah.
Talent, analysts backstage, I mean, everyone's been talking them up. Now, it's been quite a few people's first and last mistake to doubt Loud in the past. Am I wrong to still put so much faith in Loud here? I don't know where I sit.
I'm kind of with you. I haven't bought in fully to Gen G, but I think this matchup is the one that could potentially validate a lot of that hype. If they can come out here, even, I mean, dare I say, in a loss, put up a good performance.
No, I think you're right. I think it is just kind of how do they look? What does Gen G look like on that international stage, which is what this is all about. Does it translate well? Have they got what they need? We know that Loud can do that. They've got, you know, the previous reps. So there's a little tick in that box for me. But beyond that, we wait and see how they look, because it's not like they've been flawless throughout their regular season. A lot of doubts have crept into people's minds. But we digress. As the round does begin, of course, that will mean that Gen G are on the attack, Loud on the defending side, and actually we've got a triple walk up middle. That's going to be Munchkin's duty to try and deal with it, at least note it early enough, but the plant's going to come through. The attention is there from mid as well, so Kaunzine doing well to dismantle Munchkin and open up the options of pinching the site. But I like what Gen G are doing, focusing a little bit of that pressure towards CT.
Yeah, taking some space elsewhere, getting themselves set up ahead of now coming back through. But Sadak found two here for free onto Texture, and actually potentially getting a third, but Karen there to shut it down. Less with the response, but Diffuse already coming through here, Lauren. The beautiful cleanup from Loud. In the blink of an eye, Gen G unable to really convert that space into anything, any sort of security there over the site.
And you've got to say Sadak was the big proponent of that, right? The one who kind of cracked back through, dealt with that site pressure. It felt like it was really just lucky at kind of taking that CT space in the end. He kind of fell a little short when it was only him doing it. And as I said, you lose so much of the presence on the site itself. But again, explosive start for Loud here. That's a nice way to shake off any sort of doubts. You're like, all right, we got a good little beginning. Buyback here, though, for Gen G coming in on the Stingers.
Yeah, interesting to see what the plan's going to be. Well, I'm just going to run it down towards A site here. Stacked up outside. Some bodies in position here for Loud.
Who is it? We've got, what, Tui's just with the Ghost. Kaunzine does have the Bulldog, so there's a little bit of backbone to it. And less as well, so actually pretty well equipped for this. But those Stingers could be a bit of a surprise coming out from this.
Once they get into Maze, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see how close they can get until the penny drops, right? And it's going to be about now. Texture going to note it, 1-for-1 trade out, less on the back line. Dealing with luck here, but now this is the problem, right? Can they still control this? Can Gen G break into securing this deeper part of sight? There's so many bodies here.
I mean, the fact that actually they've been able to maintain control. Tui's going to find one with a Ghost. Meteor will fall, and there's two left to find here. So unfortunately, well, Munchkin does find one at range there. I was going to say, now that it actually slows down, Gen G in a tricky position. Karen has actually got himself a Bulldog here.
And he's been one of the players to watch, right? I know a lot of people talk about Texture, but Karen's mechanical capabilities, off the charts. Not going to get it this time, though. Sadak again, just kind of adding that little full stop to the round. No threats in the end. They do recover the Bulldogs that were maybe brought into question, but they're fine. They're back in hand, and they weather the storm. And Gen G, that Stinger bite, where'd you rate it on this?
I mean, again, if they're able to convert that into getting a little deeper on site here, once this utility kind of fades out, and Loud have these open sight lines, that's where the Stingers then become a little more difficult. Once you're still stuck ahead of sight, nobody's in nest, nobody can really pressure towards spawn or towards heaven. Stingers feel a little flat at that point.
Yeah, they fall short. Now we're going to have the Sheriff round coming out. Again, beyond this, I'm just looking for the game to almost settle in. The tempo is very high right now, very brawly. They're both willing to challenge. I want to see if Gen G do tempo pace at all, or if they continue along this sort of trajectory. This round not really going to be the highest indicator of it, but it's a good time to test, isn't it? You look across, see what Meteor's up to, see what he's finding out. What can he maybe derive from these sort of setups that Loud are playing? Can they pull these rotations? Where's the space?
I think Kaunzine maybe spotted 2 or 3 members, Gen G there. Happy to give up the spate, but Sadak actually almost catching the cross back here, so Loud with a very good read on Gen G's reposition here. Meteor didn't find anything on the other end. A very, very lax hold towards B, putting QCK in a position here, but delivers on the first. Munchkin will fall.
Yeah, he's not backing away yet. He's still good for another. Yeah, decides can't fall away from yellow. That's not particularly a problem. He's still got the KJ utility to support him. You've still got Sadak controlling middle. The one thing I'll say is that Meteor's got some good info here. This might have to then be an adjustment for the round following, that if they've noticed the deep setup coming out from the KJ, rather than maybe keeping more of an attentive look towards tunnel. Any more damage to be had here? Lakia with a good attempt. No connection. Now just carry on. 1v4. Spike could not be further away and comfy for less.
A clean start here for Loud, a 3-0 scoreline. See Gen G toying with a little bit of investment here to maybe try and catch them off guard.
Any ults nearby?
Nothing really on the brink for Gen G. A couple of ultimates on the brink, though, for Loud. Kaunzine, one off the Hunter's Fury.
Lovely.
The lockdown next in line after that. Need to see a response here from Gen G, though, because the credit's starting to stack on the side of Loud. Themselves very comfortable.
QCK looking like he wants to go for the operator, too. Kind of considering the options. I mean, he was up to 7K. He has every right to fancy his chances, but again, very different setup. Hard to get a bit of a beat on what Loud are up to, and it looks like Munchkin right off the rip wants to take space. Sadak has to respond, respect that he can't do this alone, because again, look at where they were pressured, where they were looking at the start. Sadak just waiting. He's got the support now, calling in Kawanzin. Tui's as well towards CT, so they've responded. I don't think that knife was going to really locate much. Clearing close, so they know that yellow is the next step.
Yeah, not a massive tell on the back of that. Usually still going to take the space here. Loud happy to concede. Doesn't really seem like there's any pressure point here for Gen G to try and exploit.
No, I'm looking for that late mid presence, right? Meteor maybe starting to drift that way, but Sadak will be watching it. Whether or not he can win the fight, yet to be seen. Looks like the deep flash is being set up. Anyone going to try and utilize that? There's the high flash going in, and Sadak does find Lackey, but that's not the mid lurk. Texture breakthrough towards CT, and he looks to secure some space. But again, remember, roll your mind back. The pressure on the site was too much before for Gen G to handle, and once again, from a similar position, less punishing. It was Sadak before, it's less now, and his Texture with a world of trouble. Less out on top, and this again, Loud have lovely positioning on this side hold.
A great awareness from Loud to understand how Gen G are going to approach versus this composition. Talked about the possibilities behind Munchkin and Lakia to set up Texture. See Loud just concede all this space. They anticipate exactly what's going to happen. Sadak actually shutting down Meteor at the perfect time as well.
This position is going to be the death.
Even that didn't even catch that. The recon pinging just behind the wall, anticipating Gen G had stacked up, ready to challenge 2E's utility.
Did they note the operator? I don't know if that, I don't think I heard it rattle because it was QCK mostly holding towards A solo, so I don't know if they've quite got that. Maybe understanding the possibility, but see if they're fully aware of it now. Time to shine. QCK. 5 potential victims. So Stingers again, happy to run this. And the right read from Loud. They have the 3 players here. There's the flash to force him away. That was a kill and a half if he got the chance, but lovely side pressure. This is lovely. That's much better from Gen G. Look at how comprehensive that take was. It's forced them into a retake. It's taken away the operator. This is very nice.
Hunters Fury and the lockdown available here for Loud, though, if they choose to invest. And actually, weapons haven't been recovered. So these Stingers need to tuck into sight here. Still find value. 2E's caught off guard here, will fall.
Love that from Texture, staying a little bit deeper, willing to put his life on the line, and they're just willing to brawl it. Willing to fight it out. Sadak trying to take the space back, but there's still so many players. This was outstanding by Gen G, really turning the screws on that side take. They want Sadak dead. Trying to get out with the operator, but he's hunted down. Texture close by. Can he keep hold of this? Sadak desperate to. Trying to leave a little note for them on the way out, but yeah, it looks like he's made it away for now. I'm just keep eyes on this because that is a prized possession and Munchkin's got it out of his cold, dead hands. Now, Mike, that side take, that pressure, there was no safety there for Loud.
I mean, you can see the value from the utility. I mean, both players force off these early angles. Nothing really from the operator, no pressure on an early angle. And straight away, Texture and Karen find kills, and early on we see this was the intention with that earlier Stinger purchase, but this time around able to find the value on the way in. And Loud have to respect it.
Yeah, that was really
so
quite special to watch.
With a response there in terms of a kill to trade back for Loud, they have tools, they have the Hunter's Fury, the lockdown to come back into that, but didn't seem feasible for them.
Well, they found something that worked. Might be running it again. That was a MasterCard Thrifty too, in case you missed it. That was still those Stingers, those Sheriffs, and now with a little bit of the ults behind it, they should be able to clear sight very comfortably. Gen G showing us what they can do here. Obviously known for the individuals, but this execution works well. Now we see Loud with numbers though. This could be the difference. There's the lockdown. There's the counter utility. They're starting to build back in and force them away with the spike planted. How do they deal with the back line though?
So what did Loud get done whilst this lockdown's going through? The Hunter's Fury posted as well. QCK on the flank, found by Texture. Beautiful headshot here, and Loud seemingly just get nothing but space. Look at the HP bars here for Gen G, but less will remove Lakia.
Good shot, but they're still not on the spike.
No.
The defuse still not started. There are problems here for Loud. Sadak with the first tap, but it's traded. Again, still numbers sitting well enough for Gen G. They've got to break that back line. Kawanzin desperately trying to do so. Texture, he's on it, and he's absolutely belting in this game so far. I've got to say
so active. He came all the way back through there and found a kill in mid.
Wow.
Closes out the 3K on site. Kawanzin did, for a moment, slip the net there, unnoted, but couldn't find another kill. I said it was crucial, really, what Loud could achieve in that time of the lockdown. But it wasn't anything. No safety here. Tui's not even really able to secure a half defuse or anything with the Cove. Early timeout called here from Loud.
Probably the right choice, because, I mean, they've been presented something that they don't have a solution to yet, and that was with
a Thrifty and
Fury and a lockdown.
Yeah.
That was meant to be the one where you think, oh, okay, well, the last one they caught off guard, maybe didn't have the opportunity to use all that util. Okay, well, this time they're still on the full buy and they've got everything they need. That still worked out just as well, so credit where it's due, and starting to see texture warming up here. That's another tick in the box.
And I don't believe this time I was really to make many adjustments this early on, especially with this scoreline, maybe to just quell any sort of momentum Gen.G are going to get off that Thrifty and a fast hit. Definitely keep our eyes on what the response is if Gen.G decide to continue with this pace, because now, obviously, Bladestorm invested, there's the pit available, a lockdown of their own in the hands of Meteor, Munchkin, one off the null command as well, so definitely tools to continue with that sort of pace and seemingly get a site for free off the back of the lockdown and secure with the pit. Now, I'd have to have a bit of awareness here. Well, they want to dig a little deep. Obviously, QCK now no operator to play with. A little bit of a broken buy, actually, if you look at Cow and Zine.
Yeah.
On top of that.
2 players, be able to get that full
X2 is brought down to 600 as well.
And it looked like Gen.G were considering readdressing that B site, but back to what worked, and a more proactive beginning on the B side of the map as well for Loud, already going to post up QCK and drift back over, so maybe a little bit of a different look, but Gen.G have tools now. They have that lockdown for themselves, so once again should allow safe passage towards the site.
Actually, the response there, yeah, Les going to put out the pit to try and prevent any sort of value on site. Can he get back into the zone? Texas look at the challenge!
Look at that guy! Oh my word, Cowanzine, that's a little bit of an upset for him, but he took down Texture at the very least. I guess you're going to have to get what you're given at that point, but Lakia didn't relent. He didn't fall away, and he still got 2. And now into a 2v3. Numbers favorable to Gen.G, and that post-plant, again, brutal to break. What can Tuis and QCK do? Luckily, yes, QCK did get a rifle now, so maybe a little better equipped. But that back line, it's always that last sentence in this Icebox chapter. How do you get around it? 'Cause look at the util again. QCK with a glimpse towards the spike gets warded off. Meteor willing to live close by. Again, the utility poured in. Meteor getting closer, just ensuring it. He doesn't want to even let it go to chance or lose his life, but the time's already lost. And again, Gen.G showing off a little now.
Texture with a hero play here to shut down any sort of re-aggression from Loud as soon as that lockdown's expired. I think it's actually a second ahead of it as well. So he's catching maybe a couple of people with their backs turned. You know, here, yeah, Cowan's it. That's unfortunate to obviously lose less in that situation, because he did post the pit. I was curious whether or not he had the timing to get back into that, to maintain, but...
Oh, they're loving it.
One more round to tie things up, and even with that broken purchase previously, Loud able to maintain rifles here.
Feels almost ridiculous that they can get a buyout, right? It just felt so out of kilter.
Texture catching a stray there.
It's the first time we're starting to see Gen.G re-explore a little, already show something towards B. It's not a great deal yet, but the pace feels different already. So Loud knows something has changed. It's just what's changed.
See the pings here. They're also going to hear QCK fall back from B main here. You can see Gen.G stacking up behind this, leaving Meteor the solo lurk. So QCK will be called upon here.
This is a lot to handle. And he takes the scalp of one. Caron gone. He's going to fall back safely. Probably the right choice here, but they did lose less on the other side of the map, so almost trade out here, right? You've got less gone, Caron gone, but now where do they go? Gen.G have a little bit of the run of the map here. They can try and pull those rotations. And a lot of faith being left in QCK because they're going back towards A.
And now with a decent read on this, on the back of that information, Cowanzine's Aldrone, but are they expecting everybody? Yeah, it's a very late hit here too. He's throwing up another wall, but the null command will be the catalyst here.
30 seconds left.
Gen.G going to try and brute force their way on here. Texture to lead the charge.
And Cowanzine's so blind. Again, these side takes between Lakia's flash, between the flash coming out from Munchkin. It is just gorgeous to witness. So well crafted that even in those final seconds of the round, when it was late, it still looks comfortable. This asks a lot of QCK. He started well, he's going to have to end even better. Third. Oh, yes. Oh, my word.
He was almost on for the adjustment there.
Yeah, I thought he might have that, but Meteor there, safe pair of hands, and Gen.G looking like the real deal here, Mike.
I mean, able to overcome Loud in a situation where, like I said, they actually timed that perfectly with the Owl drone. Only spotting Meteor, but not over-rotating. This is something that I get noted, especially in the secret matchup regionally. Gen.G really struggled with some of these later round hits where, you know, they don't win out on the initial plan. The perfect example here of something maybe they've cleaned up.
Oh, yeah.
In the downtime.
They're happy with it. VCT trying to get in their faces, though. Oh, dear. You feel a bit silly now, don't you?
The awareness. Obviously, the knife has pinged him, so diligent by Gen.G, but Meteor, a very deep position already. All the way up to Boiler here.
Not what you wanted
dry,
there.
Though.
Yeah, no support, no flash, nothing. And there's Meteor striking as well. They've just found layers to this. They found availability, right? They're starting to really turn the screws. Sight still, oh my word. A little bit of damage, yes, don't get me wrong. It is a 1v3, but you look at the HP. Look at what Les is working with. Oh, he's barely breathing. Gonna wheeze his way out of this round, probably. Texture, though, he fancies his chances. Deeper angle, tricky to clear. Diligent from Les. Doesn't matter though, does it? Gen.G tipping the scales now into their hands. 5 now to the good. And Loud haven't had an answer. And I love seeing this kind of little bit of a look back towards, you know, testing middle a little bit here. Didn't do it instantly after learning of that space that Meteor garnered way earlier in this game. And now starting to flex into it into round 9, starting to really punish the stack that they've had to put towards A, but still not able to break Gen.G's approach.
And just coming back to what we did see regionally, it was on the attacking side where Gen.G looked a little lost for, you know, any sort of mid-round ideas, how to really pivot out of tricky situations here. I mean, not even really seeing what their win condition was, which was Munchkin kind of dominating late rounds on solo efforts, Texture doing the same thing in the early round. A little bit concerning here that Gen.G have relatively easily taken total control for the first half of Icebox here. It's only 1 round separating them though.
Deep flash, trying to work off the back of it. Texture
caught it, yeah.
Yeah, a little unfortunate, and we've seen that position do well. Yeah, Loud still seem to have such a good read on this B take, but anywhere else, if they go away, they're screwed. Yeah, Loud just with a quick reminder of who they are here. The Munchkin, rough position. Does at least have time on his side, but he's got a lot of targets to handle. Goes up, lovely adjustment, but now there's problems. 9 HP and a bit of a dream, and that is not where you wanted it to go. Still got to do more here. Pressure, up close and personal. QCK gonna close out the round with a defuse coming in from 2Es, but again, Loud's problems weren't on B. It was that A take that we saw Gen.G running against them that worked.
It's similar to before, where we see them obviously concede this space. They're happy to have somebody watching the backside of this Viper wall, but they anticipate all of this aggression all the way towards Snowman. Less actually the one to shut it down, seal the deal on that control, but Gen.G already built up a bit of a bankroll with that string of rounds. Comfortable in the purchase, just about getting back towards some of these key ultimates coming online. On the side of Loud, Kaunzine and 2Es who have theirs available. Operator back in the hands of QCK as well. Curious what he can get done now.
Okay, well, it's been noted early, and it's a 3-2 split for now, right? So they're going to try and keep touch on both sides of the map. But Sadak, are you ready for this? Absolutely not. Karen was holding this. We've seen a couple of rounds of them holding deep like this. It got checked on maybe once, but it's not every round. So a little bit of variety, catching Loud out once again, opening up that opportunity towards A. QCK, you look at the backfield this, the timing is everything though. He's got support, 2-3 players all looking towards middle. This is massive, and a great shot from him. He needs to play this out. He needed more than that, but luckily for him, there was support, but Caron again still there. Still getting the favorable trade, still getting the spike back to hand, and it's just less now. They have no idea where he is fully, right? They're gonna lose track of that, but with 50 seconds, what does Les do?
I'm curious now of whether or not he's even caught a step. Knows that obviously the turret was removed previously. Whether or not they have a read on where Meteor's utility is going to be, I guess by default. We'll be here to hear the plant at least.
He's guessed correctly. But it's just... Oh my word! Oh, Caron. This guy is impressing me. You got Texture kind of the headliner, right? The guy towards the top of it, yeah, absolutely ripping open some of these rounds, but Caron mechanically looking sharp to close. So again, very impressed with Gen G here. Very impressed.
And I'm curious if this is kind of something that Loud want to drill with Sadak to be the one to force the issue all the way out of B. Whether or not it's just that the turret's there, they anticipate that the heavier lean for Gen G is outside A here, and Sadak's going to maybe have a 1v1. Or maybe somebody lurking up towards spawn ramp. But shut down so quickly that it gives Gen G so many options, with the Killjoy falling first.
Just checking if anyone's getting up close. Not going to be rewarded for that, but again, kind of Gen G slipping into more of a default, right? Maybe expecting that Loud be going exploring, which they've been rewarded by in the last couple of rounds. That mid presence, that lurk up B. They've truly got that kind of. I'd say understanding of the tempo that Loud wants to do.
Almost trying to bait it out here with Lakia posturing a little bit with the Odin, but Loud not biting. Obviously less down on a stinger, so whether or not you see any sort of aggression here or wait to maybe retrieve a weapon off a trade or something like that. The knife going to give things away. Up on 45 seconds left here for Gen G, but their sights set towards A.
4-play stack. High flash goes in.
Gold Command's going to come out here.
Yep. That's going to be ready to go. So again, we were crediting and complimenting these late round hits. Loud have numbers, but do they have the ability to stop the roll from Gen G? Already, sight is theirs. It's so comprehensive from Gen G. Viper's Pit 2. What are you going to do against this?
So many tools there. Hang on, Karen just got warbanged. The pit's down.
Oh
Lockdown's going to expire here, and actually the re-aggress here on 2E's and Kawanzin's ultimate.
Texture, hold on, still in a good position. Oh, the try-fight from Sadak! Ridiculous!
Nice, boys.
This is how Loud
gave them the lockdown!
Okay, and there it is. Gen G forced to respect it, have to drift away. Still trying to keep eyes towards the spike. Where is this? Great shot towards 2E's. Wants the fob, gets the fob!
He got detained!
Oh no! He just jumped a touch forward. Munchkin now, forced to go in here. Has to hold it together. He can't do it! Loud fighting back in the last round of the first half. Barely closing this up.
What a ridiculous back and forth for the final round of this half. So many ultimates in play. The pendulum really swinging. And such a crucial kill to shut down the Viper's Pit. That's the stranglehold that Gen G had, Lauren. That drive-by is ridiculous from Sadak.
It just felt inhuman. You know, Loud will give you a couple of those, I think, but I think credit where it's due. That 5-round run that Gen G went on was masterful. Outstanding. Let's see what the desk thinks of this.
Oh, I'm so happy Icebox is back. What a start that was, and a great half of Valorant. But it's time to jump into our HyperX reflex of moment of the day, and this one goes to Texture.
Yeah, exactly. I think that this is probably the moment where we see Gen G back into the game after Loud gets all those rounds, and it's Texture getting all these kills and doing so in a couple of rounds in a row, actually being that determining piece into, hey guys, I cannot go alone. I need you to follow right after me because they're very well positioned. But if we overwhelm them, we can make it through.
Texture and Caron, both these players who were great in Pacific, showed up here in the first half. But I think what made it for Gen G was that flash combo and how they built those execs. The KO Gecko combo, especially when going A, was excellent, and Loud was always forced to play into retake. But towards the end of that first half, Loud's retakes really started to step things up. In particular, some of these rounds where they're kind of intentionally playing back, waiting till they hear that flash combo, and then instantly swinging forward to flood. It was really great adaptation by Loud to bring a half 6-6 that really seemed like it was going to be dominant for Gen G.
Yeah, exactly. And now thinking about the switch, like how is this going to look from the defense? I want to see Texture just jumping up on them. I want to find that balance that I've seen from them in many other maps. Just knowing when to aggress and knowing when to give the space. I feel like there was a bit of overheating coming from Loud in some of these rounds, just because they wanted to show they're the better team. They have the upper hand, and I think that calming things down probably gave Gen G some advantage advantage here.
Yeah, Loud on this attack side, when they're playing the Harbor Viper, they're really good at kind of playing the mid-round a little bit, using the cascades to take extremities, and then having these powerful late-round sight hits. But again, this is going to be about the retakes. The Gecko KO comp is really strong at that. Gen.G honestly should be favored here.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I smell a little upset coming up, but let's jump into back into the second half and see if we are indeed going to get an upset.
Yeah, so I completely agree. Smooth on that one.
It stinks in here. It stinks.
You can smell it. The upset is in the air. 6-6. There is something in this game that we can't ignore. Gen.G coming out looking good. Backing up the words. They were happy to bring out that, hey, we weren't here when Gen.G, you know, when Loud were winning champion. None of that. None of that. So it's like, okay, we'll see. We'll see if it's actually there. If it's all just a little bit of hype talk. But for now, quick pace coming out from Loud. Making no secrets of this, but Texture, Lakia, they're all there, and they are all winning out these fights. Leaving just guaranteed a Texture. He's going in.
A smile on his face as well.
Love to see it. This guy is getting fired up.
And this is a pistol round that's almost designed to take control back, get themselves back in control of the tempo after that first half. But Loud absolutely shut out of B site. Bodies in place here from Gen.G. A good boost for them as well to try and carry this across into the second half.
That's huge. All the things that can go right have been, but this is quite audacious. Loud could punch this. Oh, or not! Apparently Munchkin just gets away with murder. Eventually goes down to less, but he's just left a massacre on the ground by A. Gen.G gonna be smiling about this one too, looking clean enough. Certainly not flawless at this point, but still. What can Les do with this anymore? You can maybe claim pride's sake. He's being toyed with though. Texture's going to back up on that one. He's not liking what he's seeing, but still, what a start here.
Yeah, it was Munchkin really putting up numbers versus Secret that individually just looked absolutely phenomenal. Have another performance like that here with that round 2 of the second half. Already off to a good start in that regard. Les is going to be given a consolation here.
Maybe.
He's got to make sound to drop off here. That's Karen to be the first, but once again, shut down here. Gen.G. 2 rounds to kick off the second half. An early response here. You saw how quickly Gen.G were able to carry away once they did get control in the first. That was after Loud started 4-0.
You can't ask for much better, can you? You have your probably, you know, well, your big name players. Texture already having a great start. Then you're pumping up Munchkin as well, starting to feel out the game. I mean, Munchkin's one away from his ult.
Yeah.
It's
in round
right
3.
there.
Yeah.
Wow, got to answer back here.
He's going to get it. So the orb retrieved here outside A.
Job done.
QCK had a chance there to swing onto Lakia, but respecting it.
Careful.
So contact found, and QCK actually dashes all the way out.
Yeah, they're drifting across already, going to pull those rotations in.
Once getting down to 55 HP, obviously with the ultimate. Maybe a second chance at life here. They do decide to invest. 2 Guardians, 2 Bulldogs. Next year with a scope in hand, so a little bit hesitant here.
Yeah, there's a pause here.
I mean, they have successfully baited out the ultimate, but Munchkin still delivers. QCK will fall.
And you know what? If he didn't just get that round he had one prior, I don't think he's swinging that on the HP, but he just delivers it again. Aaron on the back lines, great shot towards Sanak. And they've just capitulated. They've faltered, which is very anti-Loud. Can they pick it up here? Munchkin is still down low. Bounty's going to find meter, but no, Munchkin's still going to hold that line just perfectly.
15 HP, still delivering.
He's still holding. He's buying time for this flank. Look where Texture is. Look at the minimap right now. Come back to watching Munchkin. If he can buy a couple more seconds, precious time, that's perfect. So he's going to tuck himself in, make him try and hunt him down.
They get spotted. They spotted the rifle.
He's cleared, but there's Texture. That's what it was all about, trying to buy time for him. But now the position's noted. But 13 seconds, this puts 2. He's right under the gun. He's got to get that plant, or he's got to toy with the time and try and catch out Texture. But Texture's looking ice cold. He's looking like a killer. He's moving in, closing in, and he's got him dead! Gen.G off to a flying start in the second half.
Beautifully done. Munchkin running down the clock. And actually the kill comes through, it's traded out at the perfect time by Texture. Tui's just so many question marks after that. Tries to get the cove down, tries to bait out with the first tap of the spike, but Munchkin, man, like I said, 15 HP, still delivering, digging his heels in here. That's a 3-0 start here. Loud back down to a broken purchase. Some pistols, a stinger. Tui's an ultimate to work with, but not much else really to pin your hopes to.
And this point, unless, you know, Loud do rekindle a little bit here, that's rough. That's rough. That was ambitious and didn't work out. Now down to the 3. This is when I start worrying about the larger picture of the map pool, because we are walking into the unknown after this.
I didn't want to talk about it. Yeah,
it's early, but it's looking like 10's just around the corner. So it does make me worry about seeing Breeze.
It does.
So I'm sure the desk will, you know, hit on that afterwards, and we will, I'm sure, harp on about it. But this is certainly scary times for Loud and the fans, as Gen G looking meticulous, flawless in this.
Double digits already here. Loud, very precarious in terms of their finances here as well, because they're going to buy back in here. Potentially, if they concede this, it's 11. This is a pivotal round in terms of the outcome of map 1 here. Sadak's unable to really convert the damage through the wallbang there. Again, I don't think it really would have made too much of a difference. Gen G well equipped on both sides of the map.
They're having fun. Every round just seems fun to them, which is, it sounds silly, but it makes such a difference.
Yeah, and the concern being coming into round 17, there aren't enough real playmakers in terms of the ultimates here to string together. For Loud, they need to do some heavy lifting here to find their way into this. Yes, Tui's is there, but feels a little flaky in a full 5v5 execute to throw that ultimate out.
So early.
Texas spotted it out as well. I mean, look at how deep Gen G are pushing now. Yep. They're so happy to continue this limit testing here and forcing Loud. I mean, look at the minimap now. There's no other options really.
Too risky to go anywhere else. So.
Well, Loud are still considering it. With 60 seconds on the clock, they're going to potentially re-explore mid or A.
I just feel like I haven't seen Loud play like this in a long time.
It's hesitant once again. Yeah. Noted it in the first half.
Which is bizarre. It could prove a nice little fake, having Sadak do this to be, you know, the one to show. But you're leaving the rest of Loud, you know, QCK, to walk into A and just hope they succeed. There's still 2 players there. They haven't pulled these rotations.
That's a big kill, though.
That is huge, but again, I'm looking at the 2 players on A. Now, less court texture. That's the one that mattered. There is still a man close by. That being Lakia. Can he do any damage? Can he be the man? No, not this round, not now. QCK with a quick beheading and looking to dominate, looking to control this site, make sure it was worth it. A long played fake coming out from Loud. Very valuable and very well handled. It's just Meteor now. Position is noted. And Loud looking like they clawed one back here.
I was going to say, need to keep it clean here. I just want to see Meteor getting any other consolation. A must-win round for Loud, and they deliver. Obtaining 4 rifles, a little bit better in terms of the progress towards these ultimates now. A crucial kill from Sadak and Cowanzine to remain outside B site here. Try and catch a rotation. It just so happened at pretty much exactly the same time.
Yeah.
The other half of Loud did find success on A as well, catching, I believe it was Texture to fall first, and Lakia second on the chopping block. Operator back out for Texture here, Bladestorm in hand, but as I said, with that round victory, actually Loud now with the upper hand in terms of this ult cycle. Nothing available just yet, but look towards the Hunter's Fury, obviously the pit and the lockdown in this composition, all within touching distance.
Well, the mid-walk will have limited success, at least initially, because of the turrets. That should alert Loud that there was an attempt, but no one particularly fussed by it just yet. Still very focused on this approach. Again, these 3-2 splits. Last time it was more kind of 4-1, Sadak being the one to pressure towards A. And look at the pull of rotations. 4 players in response. This could be quite, you know, the masterclass if Sadak can keep calling these fakes that are pulling the rotations. Lucky's timing was just out of this world. QCK caught unawares, but Cowanzine's there to back it up, so still going to keep players close by. But now Loud need to strike, right? They need to kind of find that timing to hit B here.
They do.
Caron is holding.
They need to capitalize, because Munchkin's slowly edging, making his way through mid, under tube. Plant will come down. I don't think Karen can deny. Oh, nearly catches Sadak on a retreat, though.
Okay, they got what they wanted.
We do have a late Hunter's Fury here, though, so whether there's any backline awareness or Munchkin's going to be the one to potentially try and shut that down. We do have a late Hunter's Fury invested, but not going to find, yeah, not going to find anything on the back of that.
No, so now we wait and see. Does that pressure start mounting? Can Gen.G break the back line? They've already pulled Munchkin back through towards a standardized approach. This is now going to get scary, right? There's the Hunter's Fury, going to be drawn out from the tap of the spike. Spray from 2Es is good. Follow-up is better. They're holding on to this. Munchkin going down on 2Es. Exceptional work there. Loud finding life, finally.
Well, a couple of those and potential to break the funds of Gen.G. Actually, even looking at it here, Karen's down at 2350. Maybe that's why we see the timeout here. You have to string something together, but really well coordinated here. It's obviously QCK, heartbreaking to ever see a death like that. He's just a split second away from maybe slipping into a more dangerous position.
But the overall picture, it's Loud achieving great success on these kind of fakes. To an extent, I say fakes, but it's just kind of showing presence on the other side of the map. I mean,
yeah, it's just a widespread default that they are finding value on both extremities.
But it is so widespread, and it does make me slightly nervous. For now, it's working, so I'm not going to doubt it, right? It's silly to doubt something that is proving fruitful. But as said, when you saw QCK catching some really bad timing, fortunately, Kalanzine was there. But it's quite precarious. They're willing to make these risks, which is working out for them really well here. Forcing the timeout from Gen.G. The gap getting close enough, they thought, okay, let's pump the brakes a little here. We don't want that momentum. Almost a response to what we saw from an earlier timeout from Loud. So very symmetrical in that matter. So we kind of check in on the ult. Almost again, very symmetrical in that regard. Both very close by. So this isn't just back in Loud's control. I think these have been some quite precarious rounds they've run. Obviously, Loud being as good as they are, they make them work. Exceptionally done. Now we're into the meat of it, though.
The concern being if you have somebody that's going to deliver for Gen.G, I guess across the map and from an individual standpoint, players like Texture, like Munchkin, potentially even Karen in these situations. I mean, it was called upon the previous round, but not much of a chance to really stop that plant from going down. That's when it feels a little uneasy.
Ooh, late switch as well. Just about, yeah. So Texture going to go for the operator, soloing out A, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, very, very early indication here of some aggression on the side of Gen.G. Loud have to respect it now. I think initially they were going to throw a little bit of U2 out. Texture able to control that op shot. Could have been rewarded wrong. Karen.
How did he get seen there?
Not entirely sure, but both snake bites used, and now doesn't really have the security to play up close and personal. As Loud look to re-aggress, but will shut down the Owl Drone. So question mark still here.
Audacious from Munchkin to be the one to go back in. Oh, come on. That's filthy. Back-breaking for Loud as well, just to lose out to that judge. They've got the upgrades they wanted to. Karen was willing to die for that. That's fine. He'll take that every day of the week. You guys lock it down afterwards. I've done the damage. Less than QCK now in that position at yellow could be the end of the Munchkin. Still holding on to this one. QCK going to try and check close, loses out. And less now. There's so much and so little opportunity.
This is so bizarre. I think at some point Karen spotted whether or not they don't see he's got a judge, I think is the issue. The knife obviously removes the Owl Drone and immediately Gen.G re-aggress. They post up close once again. You see here just under the minimap. Obviously the suppress onto Kalanzine. Loud just caught off guard a little bit here.
But a nice gambit, right? A nice little just, okay,
sure.
Get the judge, play up close, see what we can do, right? And you're willing to give it a run. We're back into a more traditional looking round, it seems. I think, apart from QCK, but he does have his ult, so that's not a problem. But a Brawl looking to break out. Lackey, the first one forward, finds the scalp of 2. He's looking for the bomb. He's going to get at least an attempt at it. But backups arrived. Karon, Munchkin, all here. Dizzy goes out. Lackey is still buying time. Stanak still putting up numbers, though. Body's starting to drop here. Can he do any more damage? Lackey is holding his nerve. I don't know how he's still doing this. Oh, less lovely work from him. But look, you can see the crunch, right? Texture is on the way. Meteor, how long do you hold here? How long are you going to stay
here? Look at the flank
here?
from Texture.
He's on the way, but...
He's already on the outside of this lockdown.
Oh, my word, Meteor. Scary to me.
A little bit curious.
Yeah, don't know what the game plan was there. Mike, did I miss something?
A little bit curious. There is a space in that, so he had a chance to at least, I don't know, take a 50-50 back up into the corner there.
Better than a 0. I mean...
because then Tex is completely caught off guard.
Yeah, that was...
Scratching my head a little bit over that one, but I mean, maybe just a little frantic, maybe expecting Loud to push up and maybe, I guess, lack a little complacency. But after the start of this round where Gen G time and time again have shown they're happy to be aggressive on A, yeah, left scratching their head as well.
Maybe we missed something, maybe so did Gen G at that point.
I mean, I did touch on this initially, the plans for Gen G, and talking back to some of these series that we saw recently, the initial plan, and things kind of just going really skew if after that falls apart. They're not really knowing what to do, not really having any direction when, you know, there's sort of a little bit of chaos, or there's some questions to answer mid-round, and a reaction is really required from them. But yeah, I'm not sure.
And funny enough, it's a timeout from Loud here. Maybe to let them just...
take stock of things, yeah.
Do you want to learn? Just click on login little button. You can just type Nightbot is joining your channel. However, we still need a mod Nightbot. So I'm just going to copy this, and then let's go back to our Twitch channel real quick. Once you're on your Twitch channel, I'm just going to paste this, or you can just type out /mod space Nightbot. Nightbot is joining your channel. However, we still need a mod Nightbot. So I'm just going to copy this, and then let's go back to our Twitch channel real quick. Once you're on your just click on login to be able to here. The first thing that we need to do is click join channel in the top channel. However, we still need this, or and it'll say Nightbot in the first place to go. So command is !YouTube because I made previous attempts of this who's using the called commands. This is where a lot of people are going to be spending most of their time. Nightbot it's enabled. If we do our Twitch account, it says current stream title, testing, new stream. And we can confirm that if I scroll down here, it says testing new stream. These are all the default commands that just kind of come with it. If you don't want to have these, all you have to do is just go to this one. So let's say !commercial, we don't want it. So I'll just click on the disable button right here, and then you can see that this blue turned to a gray, which means it's now disabled. So you can go ahead and look through here. The most popular one is usually commands because that gives you a list of what commands are active on your channel. So if we actually scroll up to the top left corner here, we'll click on custom.
Look who's lurking, look who's waiting. Texture could be in for a blinding round. Bear in mind, he could get played in Balakia here as well. There is that opportunity.
This is rough because the pings are coming out. You can see on the minimap here, Nest and Pipes have been pinged.
No idea about Texture.
Oh my God.
Does he keep his cool?
He just hard cleared under on the wrong side.
Oh my God, they line up! And he almost knocked him down, but Lakia swings into that last minute, punishing Kalanzine. This is looking like Loud is on the ropes in map 1 here. Opportunity dwindling. Less than 2, he's gonna have to dig deep now.
Yeah, detained. Up on Pipes here, it's less. Left-standed, but Lakia will fall now.
They need more. That can't be enough, it needs to be more. A 2v3. Spike still in the hands of Tui's, and let's try to control the site.
Does have the pip, but obviously the null command going to remove that. Meteor will fall here. Let's going to get another one.
No
he
way.
has indeed. Oh my God!
What an absolute beast! When Loud needed him, he was there.
And Gen G just seemingly no awareness that he was going to stay tucked into that corner.
Because I thought there was going to be Texture's moment, right? You're looking at that round, you run it back, you look at the minimap, surely gets to bailout from Lakia coming in less. What is
He's
that?
just so clean. I mean, even here to react to Munchkin,
Like,
throwing his life
as well.
on the line.
God tier, God tier.
Gen G to pump the brakes a little bit after a heartbreaking round loss. And that will break the bank as well. Ultimate's invested. Karen's still with the pit, but I feel like Loud come out of that gleaming. Definitely with the upper hand here. A pit of their own, 1 away from the lockdown, 2 off the Hunter's Fury as well. And a shot to the heart of Gen G, who probably felt like they were closing out map 1 there, Lauren.
Oh man, yeah, oh come on, you're feeling that, right? Like you, as said, you look at that mini-map, you play that back in your mind, you think, how does that play out? You're putting Gen G up there, right? Yeah, that's, anyone would. But then there's one man less standing
Absolute
there. What
superstar.
A talent. What a talent. And that is again, when you talk about value of kills, Les has got 25 kills. He is currently leading by a country mile. The value of those kills just then have kept Loud alive in map 1.
And the value of round 23 alone, sorry.
And he's broken the money.
Yeah.
Money's in tatters for Gen G. It's never stopped them before, but in a moment like this, gotta still those nerves now.
Sadak, if he can sniff this out early on, turret's going to go out. Yeah, Sadak immediately bolting away.
Something.
Yeah, exactly.
He can feel it. And Sadak's calls, I've got to say, have been quite nice, especially on this half. I've been liking what I've been seeing. How much info does he get? Okay, a little bit of info. Not going to have the full weight behind
that should
it, but
be
it should
the green
enough.
light. Absolutely is. Utility invested now. A-site up for grabs. QCK happy to take this space away. Meteor, will he get a chance to find anything here? But he's only got a Guardian. He's found one.
Massive, massive work. And now they're halted. The rotations are going to be in. Loud might have dropped the ball at the final hurdle. But Meteor getting a little too ahead of himself. Still wanted to do more. 50 seconds. There's time for rotations.
Texture, the only one actually in a position to catch this. Doesn't overcommit, but it's a little bit of a fake. It's pulled Lakia. So potentially going to pull Karen as well. They spotted the cross, but Loud immediately drift back towards A. And look at the map now.
They've been conditioned to respond to this. This is what Loud was doing during those string of rounds. So now it's all on Munchkin. He's trying to play ahead. This is so brave, so bold. He's going to take 1, 2. Oh, I thought a third.
That's huge, though.
But it's massive. The site is open, though. And with Les still alive, there is always going to be a chance.
And he has a pit to play with here. 1 snake bite left. Tui's commits to the plant.
Plants in. First fight. He's got it. The drop down, did he spot it? It doesn't matter. Tui's is there. And now just Caron. This guy has to step up. He's got to try and do something. But so much against him. And look at the reposition from Les. So hard to find, and Tui's going to try and play his life. But Karen takes it away. 1v1. He knows where he is. But what are you going to do about it?
Les is wrapping heaven. There's buying so much time.
But can he get a safe defuse here?
I don't think he can actually get an angle on this.
Can he spam it? Can he stop this? Because Karen ain't stopping. He's going.
No way!
It's going to be 13, and it is! Gen G steal away the 13th round. Heartbreak for the hero, Les having to watch that slip away.
Karen, the rookie, closing out with a Red Bull clutch versus none other than Les. What a ridiculous way for this map 1 to conclude. And the penny drops just too late here.
Bloody hell. What a map one. What
that
a
was
map
ridiculous.
One. Come on, this has been unbelievable. I've got to have the desk thoughts. I've got to have map 2. Let's get out of here.
Excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of us?
Oh, no problem.
Thanks.
Yes, problem. You need Verizon. Trade in that old thing and get a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage, so you can take all the pics. So many selfies.
A preposterous amount of panos!
That means panoramic. And as many portraits of me as your heart desires.
How about none?
None, yeah, none feels right.
Trade in any iPhone in any condition and get iPhone 15 Pro and iPad and Apple Watch SE all on us. Only on Verizon.
సరేలేండి గాయ్స్ నాకు నిద్ర దించండి.
Red Bull gives you wings.